And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, we have protests all over the country, including Colombia. And obviously, we had some paid people in the mix, some professional people in the mix, just like 2020, George Floyd, hands up, I can't shoot, I can't breathe, all this. We have all that happening again right before the election. Perfect timing. We'll get to that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, speaking about politics, Kamala Harris giving one of the most cringe interviews to Drew Barrymore, who at this point has become a meme for having the ultimate in cringe interviews, not giving you any personal space, all in your face inappropriately, touching your arm, having a random dog on the couch with you. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Jerry Seinfeld, shout out to Seinfeld, shout out to Larry David, shout out to the whole squad. But Seinfeld said that leftists have in many ways ruined comedy. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we have some Chinese nationals stealing 150 million US American dollars from USPS. They're losing billions, but somehow somebody was able to make millions. Make that make sense. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing thus far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got a lot going on. I saw some of those videos about the protesters talking about, oh, we're not getting enough food and we need to have basic human needs. It's like, imagine protesting a place, occupying the place, and then still relying on the outside world for food and water and everything else. Okay, that's like you being at your mom and dad's house and you lock yourself in your room because you're protesting bedtime, and then you crying, telling my son, "Mommy, can I get some Pop-Tarts?" It's like, nah, you want to protest? Okay, be a protester. Go on a hunger strike. Figure it out. No Pop-Tarts, no chicken tendies. And you know what? I'm on Twitter, and I'm talking about sometimes people, they try to infantilize children. And a lot of these people are like kids. Grown adults over the age of 18, 19, 20, 21, and beyond, they act just like children. They can't do anything without mama, papa, the faculty, the administration. Please, can I get some food? I'm hungry. I'm hungry. It's like, nah, you the protester, right? Go ahead and protest. You to chain the building down with bike locks, and you to put refrigerators in front of the door so I can't get through. Nah, you figure it out. Don't try to, get some Uber Eats. Hey, they got to get Uber Eats to come through the barricade. They got to get the people that come through. They got to get police to come feed them so they don't starve to death. Okay. If they could open something, if they could build something, they probably would build a Starbucks right in the middle of their protest so they could have their caffeine fix and their sugar fix, because a lot of them hooked on high fructose corn syrup. But I'm getting way too far, way too deep. So different story. I digress. We'll get to that a little bit more a little bit later. Yeah, I hungry like little kids. You're 21 years old, which you sound like you're about 5 years old. I mean, what are we doing? Be an adult. Be a man, be a woman, or be whatever them you think you are. Okay? If you identify as a furry, well, identify as an adult furry. How about that? And behave like that. However furries want to act. But anyway, we will get to everything. We got videos of the protests. We got a lot of things happening. We have a unifying moment in a protest. But before we get to anything, y'all know the drill. Shout out to the sponsors of the stream. PatriotPost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will be in the description, or just go to go to PatriotPost.us in your web browser and tell them that ABL sent you. I got ahead of myself. Shout out to ABLmerch.com. We got all the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. That is ABLmerch.com. and go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. I have an article for each video that I produce. And in each article, you'll find sources from the left, from the right, from national, international, local, whatever you need, I got it. Full videos, summaries, links, sources, everything will be on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, go to the contact page, anthonyblogan.com/contact, to find my email address, my snail mail address, my social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter, never going to call it X, Instagram. All those links will be available on the contact page, anthonyblogan.com/contact. And as I always say, if you ever wonder if you are conversing with me on the interwebs or not, just cross-reference the method of contact. I don't have any kind of 500-digit phone number that starts with a foreign country code. I don't have some random Outlook or Gmail or anything like that. My email is very simple. It's contact@anthonyblogan.com. And that'll be, of course, on the contact page in case you don't remember. My email is not, I'm a Nigerian scammer and I live in a random hovel in Lagos or Abuja or somewhere else in River State, in Edo State, and scam for a living at outlook.com. That's not my email address, nor is my email address. I weigh 895,000 pounds, and I live in Lithuania, and I have an entire basement of a mansion to myself. I'm spread out throughout the entire thing because I'm so big, and I got borched in every corner at outlook.com. That's not my email. If that's the email, or if you have a suspicious interaction, they're talking about, hey, email me on this random email or text this 45-digit phone number for Bitcoin or Forex advice. That's not me. Don't get scammed. Don't nobody got no time for that. It's 2024. Okay? If they're talking like this on their phone when you talk to them, it's not to me. So please, please, please be aware. Don't get scammed. Y'all got to keep your money because the economy is going through a lot right now, as you guys know. Now, where are we going to go first? I think I want to start with a lot of the protests because I got quite a few of these. I have some heartwarming moments. I have some funny moments. I have a lot. But that's your email, Vlad the Dragon? Okay, that's a great email. I'm glad you have that email. I know, you know, what's going to be funny is I make one of these random emails up and one of you guys go out there and make that email be yours. That'd be hilarious. Hey, if I get an email from one of you guys that says something like that, I'm going to just bust out laughing right where I'm staying. Okay, that'd be fantastic. Hold on. Carolyn Jones says, protesters robbed my grandson of attending an organized pancake breakfast. Jerks. Just let them eat cake. Now, did they steal the pancakes because they're hungry? Or did they just get in the way and prevent your grandson from being able to get from point A to point B? Like, I wonder what happened. Now, where are my mods? Hey, man, shout out to the mods. You know, they out there slaying them dragons in the world. But let's get to some of these right here. Now, this one is going to be a teach bit of language. So if you got little kids and whatnot, just cover their ears. If you have sensitive ears, please be warned. It's a little bit of language. Now, but I got to play it because this is a fantastic moment. It is a healing, unifying moment. Now, I'm not sure where this is. Okay. Oh, pardon me. This is Alabama, the University of Alabama. They're protesting. You have one side versus the other side. All right. So let's check it out. And I think this is more of a political thing. I'm seeing Trump flags and American flags. I don't see anything from Palestine, but maybe I'm not looking in the right place. Let's just go ahead and check it out. Okay, so yeah, they do have, it is like a Palestine situation. So on one side, we got Trump flags and American flags. On the other side, we have a ceasefire now sign. Now, the other side, to be totally honest, is kind of paltry in their representation, but they're there with the ceasefire. Let's go ahead and just run that back one more time. So both sides of the debate are saying, let's go, Brandon. But you know what they really said, but I don't want to say it because it's YouTube and I don't want to have them call the Google police on me and say I'm cussing on my live stream. But y'all heard what was said on both sides of the debate. So I'm glad they can unify over one thing. You may have a political difference. Okay, ceasefire, no ceasefire, this, that, and the third, Israel, Palestine. But where we unify is how we both dislike Joe Biden. So shout out to Alabama, Roll Tide. All right, Roll Tide. And shout out to all the other college football fans out there. Where I live is an interesting place. Alabama is very close to me, about 45 minutes away, maybe a half hour away. Then you have Tennessee, of course. You got UTK, Peyton Manning. Then you have Georgia, UGA. Shout out to the Dogs. So you have all those schools within not a very far distance, and I'm right kind of close to Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia. So when you have college football time, you see all kind of stuff going on. You see cars. I've seen cars with all three logos on them. I've seen cars with Tennessee flags, Bama plate, and Georgia Bulldog, something in the windshield on one car. It's a whole lot going on. So, yeah, shout out to all you guys, and shout out to them for finding unity when people think that there is disunity. Now, here is somebody talking about the protesters, and I want to let you, I want you guys to let me know what you think. And shout out to Nick Shirley, Nick, N-I-C-K, Nick Shirley for the interview. And RIP to the headphone users.
Majority of these college students honestly know exactly what they're protesting for.
The majority of these college students are here on a government loan. They are studying something unbelievably stupid. They are basically being bilked for money. They have no idea. It's the next cool thing to do. The average person, I think, at these protests is the kid that isn't cool or good looking enough to be invited to a house party. So because they're not invited to a house party, they make their own, which is out here, which is why what happens when they summon these people with a flyer, 10,000 of them show up. These are 10,000 people with nowhere else to be.
Wow, that was pretty deep. That was pretty deep. And you know what? I think what he's saying is right on point. And a lot of these flyers and the organized stuff, it's from people that pay. Because as you guys may or may not know, I used to be the flyer guy. I used to design and print flyers, all kind of other printed material. I know these things aren't cheap. And when you have 10,000 people with the same thing, that costs a lot of money to organize. Okay, we did an event. It was not any kind of political protest, but we did an event, a legitimate event. And from all the things they got, you're talking about signs and posters and billboards, and you're talking about, it was over $1 million they spent. It was over $1 million total for the whole situation. Okay, and just for me, and my piece of it was like $30-something thousand gross. I'm talking about flyers, like little flyers, big flyers, stuff like that, like 30 grand gross. It was crazy. So yeah, when you see these protests, so-called protests, just understand, when you see anything that's uniform, they got the same sign, that's money behind that, and it's not organic at all. Ain't nobody going to the basement. And I think all these protests that reach any kind of level of quote unquote success, or when you see them making any kind of real noise, it's paid for. The George Soros of the world and other individuals, aside from George Soros, they're putting money in the pockets of these people. That's what's going on. Now, speaking about people that attend these events, here is Megyn Kelly with her take on the situation. All right, let's check it out.
And by the way, why are they so unattractive? I really legitimately want to know. Why are all the protesters so homely? I don't think they're unconnected. I'm not going to lie. I think attractive, smart people are not drawn to this nonsense. They're living their lives being successful. It's the unattractive and or dumb people who feel the need to do this to feel like they matter. Sorry, hard truth.
And you know what? That's right on point. And I think it's not just them. There's other people that are there. It's people that, okay, you have those who don't have anything to do, might be kind of unattractive, whatever, and easily manipulated without a real sense of purpose, nothing to do. Because even if you're not the best looking, I know not everybody's blessed to be beautiful, okay? I didn't wake up this morning like the most handsome guy in the world, all right? I won't say I look like a frog in the face, but I'm not going to be on somebody's magazine with shirt off, talking about I'm the most handsome guy in the world. It's not that. But you got to have some kind of purpose. If you're on the college campus and you're volunteering and you're working and you really care about being there, you really want to get an education, you're not going to be drawn to this kind of thing. But if you're just there kind of aimlessly, no purpose, no sense of community, you're just out there and you have a malleable mind, you're easily manipulated to get into these things. And people that organize protests, they know that about individuals on college campuses. They know that they're there. This is going to be your cannon fodder. And they're giving a sense of purpose, like they belong, like they matter. But as we all know, when you get involved in things like this, they'll be the very first ones to be sacrificed. Line up on the wall and they get deleted. They'll be the first ones, although they think they should be the first ones to receive some kind of benefit from communism or socialism or whatever the case may be. That's how it goes. That's how it's always been. And the organizers understand this. All right. Here's another guy talking the same way. And I didn't even line these clips up like that, but it just so happened. I guess it was divine intervention. Let's check it out.
I work for myself. Take off your hijab and get a job. You guys are all fat, ugly, and broke.
Is that how we do?
Take off your hijab and get a job. Why don't you get a job?
Take off your hijab and get a job. There you go. Exactly. Like when I was in college, like I've always worked. That's one thing. I've always, since I've been 17, 16, I had a job before the 12th grade year. So after my 11th grade year, I got a job when I was 16. I was trying to get a job when I was 14, but I didn't know how to get the work permit. But I was trying to work as soon as I got into high school. I was trying to get a job, but I started working at 16, and then my mom did not let me work the first semester of 12th grade. I wanted to keep on working. I had my car. I had a 96 RAV4. I was working, and I wanted to keep working. She was like, nope, get through your first semester, and then you can work your second semester. So second semester, 12th grade, I went back to working, and I've not stopped working ever since. All right. So a lot of these people, and I went to college too, but a lot of them have no job, no nothing. They just out here doing random stuff. And then that kind of mentality, it carries on when they get to be adults, because you see a lot of these so-called protests beyond college, and you have the same people 30 years old in the middle of the daytime laying on the ground, like these people that want to stop vehicles from driving because they think that the world's going to end in 2 years because of some kind of climate crisis. Okay, you're laying on the ground in the middle of the USA. What is that going to do? We're one of the cleanest countries in this world. You want to really make an impact on climate change. If you think that laying on the ground is going to stop it, like laying on the ground and blocking the car from going, if you think it's going to work, okay, go to China and do that. If you don't get ran over, because like China, they don't really play that kind of stuff. If you don't get ran over, what you're going to do is get disappeared. Okay. Try going to China and laying on the ground, throwing a tantrum, talking about some, oh, the world's going to end. We got to stop oil now. All right. You'll be literally making big rocks to little rocks. As a matter of fact, you'll be painting little toy dinosaurs. You'll be painting, hey, what you're going to be doing in China is assembling iPhones for a living, hunched over a desk 18 hours a day, doing one task, one motion all day. You'll be doing that in China, keep messing around. Over here, you can do that kind of thing, and it's not really a big deal. Over there, man, please forget about it. In India, you might not get sent to the gulag. You might not get sent to a factory. They might just run you over and be like, that it's your fault. It's your fault, my friend. It's your fault. You on the ground, I can't see. So my point is, people do these kind of things over here because they had the freedom to do it. This is a free country. It's a clean country. It's the best country. So people have a sense of security to do this kind of ridiculous nonsense. All right. Yeah. Just Joe said hair donators, 100%. You go over there with a long headed hair in India, you get shaved bald. You be looking like Mr. Clean, Stone Cold Steve Austin, all of that at the end. You go over there with a full mane, 1991 Mel Gibson, and you come back Stone Cold Steve Austin. All right. from a lion's mane to stone cold smooth ball. But anyway, now here are some of the locks they had on the doors at Columbia. All right.
Tell us about this change.
Yeah, so when we entered Hamilton Hall, this is not what students bring to school. Okay, this is what professionals bring to campuses and universities.
So these are the locks they had on the doors. Now, these are often brought in by professionals. Now, some are trying to say, well, the students had these locks and they're bike locks and they sell them at the school, or you could get a discount if you go to Columbia because you live in New York. People steal bikes all the time. This prevents bikes from being stolen. Well, there's evidence of the paid people being there, of the professional protesters being there. The bike lock, that's just one piece of it. All right. And again, when you see these organized things, people have some of the same things and the same methods and the same strategy. That is evidence of a thing being organized professionally and not just a bunch of kids randomly saying, okay, let's make this happen.
These are heavy industrial chains that were locked with bike locks. And this is what we encountered on every door inside of Hamilton Hall. And so in order for our emergency services group to enter into the building, they had to first cut through these chains, but also get rid of debris and barricaded doors that were barricaded with refrigerators, vending machines, chairs, you name it. They pushed it up against those doors to try and stop us from coming in. But our guys would not be stopped. They did a fantastic job of entering into that location and taking people into custody without incident last night. They took about 40 to 50 people into custody inside of the lobby of Hamilton Hall last night.
So they said total about 300 individuals were arrested when you're talking about Columbia. Just Columbia. And of course, there were more so-called protests all over the country, all over New York. There was City College. There was quite a few. All right. Now, there's a lot more I want to get to. All right. Oh, speaking about City College, did you guys see this where they did like a Iwo Jima type situation? And I don't want to be offensive to all the military veterans, but let's check it out. So this is City College. And it says NYPD recaptures City College from protesters and raises the American flag on the campus flagpole. Now, I'm not sure how it happened, but at one point they had the Palestinian flag on the flagpole instead of the American flag. Like the flag was up there by itself, no other flag. It was not beneath the American flag. It was not above the American flag. It was the only flag on the flagpole, which is crazy for a college in the USA. Look, I don't care where your viewpoint is about whether you're for Palestine or Israel or the Jews or the Arabs. I don't care what your stance is. This is America. Okay, all the other countries are not us. You in America, fly the American flag. You want to go over there, fly their flag. I wouldn't expect that they fly our flag in a foreign country, just like we don't fly their flags over here. American flags. That's it. But the Palestinian flag was on top of the flagpole, and NYPD took that down to put the American flag back up. All right, no sound on the video, but you see what's happening here. They're getting that Palestinian flag up out of there, fishing that down, and then my man snatching it down. Yeah, there we go. Get that up out of there. I like that snatch. That was a good snatch. And my man throwing it. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Get that up out of here, man. This is America. Okay, snatch that down, and then my man balling it up, throwing it. Boom. Now let's put the American flag back up. Okay, I don't care what color you are. You could be black, white, Puerto Rican candy stripe. We got black cops, white cops, everybody up here putting the American flag back on the flagpole where it belongs. And look at the glee. Do you see the smile on my man's face? The smile to put that American flag back up. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like. All day long. The glee of taking the foreign country's flag off the flagpole and putting our flag back up. That's what I enjoy, 100%. So yeah, shout out to them. And again, there's no sound on this video, but you can already see what's going on. We don't got to see the sound. All right, and then post for the picture. There we go. Yeah, post for that pic. I'm with it. Yes, indeed. So yeah, shout out to NYPD. Taking that Palestinian flag down, putting the good old flag of the USA. Okay, stars and stripes, old glory. That's what I'm talking about. Now, going back to Colombia, we got some kids, well, adults that behave as children. It's finals. I want to go home. I hungry. Hold on, check it out.
They just barricaded us in.
Oh my fucking god.
You're laughing. You're laughing.
No fucking way.
You know.
Fuck you. It's finals. Can I go home?
So they had got kind of trapped in there, I suppose, because NYPD was in the process of clearing out Colombia because it had been taken over by these protesters. So then they turned the lights off, and then it was like, hey, F you. I want to go home. It's finals. Nah. You in there, right? You in there, right? It ain't no, can I go home? Can I go to mommy? Nah, you in there. So it is what it is. Okay? And when your phone battery dies out and you can't scroll TikTok no more, you're pretty much done. I think that's what's happening with these individuals. All you really got to do for real is shut off a cell tower next to them so they can't get on their phones and, scroll TikTok, and then they'll be done. No more Fortnite, no more TikTok. Yeah, they'll be pretty much ready to give up. Okay? Ain't no more negotiation, ain't no more hostages. As soon as they can't get any Wi-Fi, they're ready to go ahead and roll on out. All right, there's more here. Let's go to UCLA. All right, I'm not sure what's happening here, but can I just say something? I'm not quite sure if I said it. I think I did, but I'm gonna just say it again in case I didn't say it. This is 2020 all over again, but there's no George Floyd. This is just a protest about anything. It don't even really matter. Like, nothing happened here in the States. When you talk to people that's there and they're being asked, hey, why are you here protesting? I don't know. I just thought that it would be good. It's about supporting Palestine. Okay, but how is protesting at a college acting the fool going to do anything for a foreign conflict? That's between Israel and Palestine. That's their issue. So how are we going to affect that? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. But yet they're protesting because it doesn't matter what the cause is. What matters is civil unrest and chaos and how people can benefit from that in a certain kind of way. Election years are always like this. When you're talking about a national election for the president, it's always the same way. It's been like that for a long time now, for years. It was the same way 2020, the same way 2016, and here we are 2024 with the same thing going on, but a different purpose. Before it was George Floyd. Before that, it was Freddie Gray, Black Lives Matter. Now, it's a whole foreign country that has nothing to do with the U.S., all right? But anyway, Polka Dot Suzanne, that's fantastic. She says, a protest about nothing, a Seinfeld show. Brilliant. Brilliant. You get 5 stars and a heart emoji for that one right there. But let's check this out, UCLA.
Not having law and order. I really don't care what you think. And if you don't like it, then you can leave this country, because that's what we expect in America. We expect you to abide by the laws. And as we're watching on the screen, people are now getting hurt. They are fighting. This is going to get very nasty very fast.
This is very nasty right now, this minute. We've just seen an out-and-out brawl.
You know what that kind of reminded me of? A mosh pit. It's like these young kids are bringing back all the things that we were doing in the 90s. Okay, and it's like, okay, it's brand new. A quick departure. I saw something on Twitter, and they're talking about this little device is going crazy on TikTok, and they're selling out like hotcakes. And then, hold on, like watch what it is. If you're my age or older, then you'll kind of recognize this little machine right here. All right, hold on. Look at this. So mini steppers are all the rage on TikTok. How good is the workout? I promise I saw this on the infomercial in 1997. All right, or 1989. I feel like they have warehouses full of this old infomercial stuff that did not sell, that became unpopular, and now they're bringing it back for the TikTokers who don't know anything about it. For the kids born in the 2000s have no clue what this is. Your grandma, your mama might have had that same machine under her couch for 20 years and never got touched. Okay, this is an old piece of equipment. Just like they got Mad Dog 2020, MD 2020, Mogan David. They're bringing that back with TikTokers. It's like, that's some of the oldest stuff. The bum on the street who's like 75 years old has that in his pocket. Wild Irish Rose, Mogan David, all that old English. All this old stuff is coming back to a brand new audience who has not seen it before. Okay? History repeats itself. Chinese junk, 100%. Hey, like I said, you go over to China and you in a protest, you'll be in the factory hunched over, putting one screw and 10,000 of these per day to sell to TikTokers. So if you enjoy your freedom, I suggest you don't go over there acting the fool as you do in the USA. That's right, Dude Raw. Home Shopping Network, absolutely. I remember all of that. The Thigh Master, yeah, all of that. Okay, I remember all those things. 1970s, that was available. 50 and Fantabulous, yep. Absolutely. Thunderbird, all that stuff is going to come back because you have a new crop of people who have not seen it before. To them, it's brand new. Like they found the wheel. Meanwhile, the wheel been out since the beginning of the modern era. All right. I know, Bradley, it's not quite a mosh pit, but you understand what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say it's the carbon copy. All right. Now, here we have evidence of the organized protest, Lisa Fithian. Okay. Here's a caption. Looks like Lisa Fithian, the professional protesters and organizer, is speaking with fake students at Columbia College in New York City. This is just one of many groups at colleges throughout the country. All right, let's go ahead and check that out. And then that's her right there in the center. Kind of hard to see. But we got all these tents that look oddly familiar. I wonder where those came from, who paid for those. But, and you know what happened? At events like these, you'll be just a regular normie student, just trying to be part of something. And then it'll be some kind of lady that's organizing things and people are following her lead. That's kind of what goes on in a lot of these things. Black Lives Matter, it was the same thing in 2016. I got to find that one video. You guys may have seen it, but I got to find that video because that was crazy. R.I.P. David Carroll, I think he was able to record it. As I play this, I'm going to look for the other one. So shout out to you guys. But yeah, she's just organizing everything, and that's kind of how it goes. It's always like that. Some random liberal lady just pops in the mix, and it's not a random person at all. Here's a picture of her again. All right, Lisa Fithian, the organizer, the professional organizer. That's her right there, American activist, born in 1961 from Skidmore College. And you see right here, Lisa Fithian is an American political activist and protest consultant. What does that mean? You're a paid protester. You're a protest organizer is what you do. And she's been doing the same thing since the 1970s. Okay, the late 70s, when she was a teenager, probably in college herself, she's been doing the exact same thing. So you're going to see people like her all over these protests. So we could talk about George Soros funding the money, and it's not just him. We could talk about BLM organizing protests, but it's not just them. People like that are all over this country, all over this world, and they are responsible for a lot of what you see out here on these streets. Now, am I trying to say that it's her fault? No, not at all. She's just one piece of the puzzle. You got money. You got these dummies that don't know any better, these young people who got malleable minds, and you have those who have an agenda to use these people, the young people, for whatever they want. That's kind of what it is. All right. So let's check this out. Oh, here's one. Shout out to UNC Chapel Hill. This is a fantastic video. So, and shout out to Clown World for posting it or reposting it. It says, UNC Chapel Hill students defended the American flag from protesters reportedly trying to remove it. So they're forming like a kind of a chain around the flag, holding on to the flag so it's not taken by the so-called protesters. Fantastic. So yeah, you see what's going on. Shout out to the young kids out there, the young men out there for protecting the flag. We gotta have that. We gotta have more people stand up at these colleges for what's going on, for the right thing, not the wrong thing. We gotta have it. And what we don't want to have is individuals like this acting the fool. So I guess the Israeli flag is making her screech like this. It's like holding a cross to a vampire. I mean, I don't really understand. And I don't know what her screeching is going to do to help free Gaza with a little sign. Okay, I don't really get it. But hey, that's kind of what's going on. So, and I think at a certain point, if you just let them kind of keep screaming, keep screeching, they'll stop. They'll just kind of stop moving, stop doing what they're doing. Now, here we are at Fordham University at the Lincoln Center, and they're occupying this space with tents. Now, do these tents look familiar? It seems like they have the same tents all over the place. I wonder why. I wonder where they came from and who paid for them. You know what's happening, in my opinion? I think they're kind of practicing for when they start smoking crack in a few years and wind up on the streets. They can use those same tent making skills to pitch their little residence right there on the side of the road. They're already getting ready for it. I mean, that's part of it. You see quite a few college people out there on the streets after they get hooked on whatever kind of drug they want to use. All right. So shout out to them. Again, I'm not sure what you're doing that would improve conditions overseas, but I guess they have their reasons. All right, let's keep on going here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff that helped me out tremendously. Now, here's one. You got somebody throwing a tantrum. Like you ever seen the toddler just act a complete fool when they don't get their way? Falling down all over the place. Like I seen that. You know, I got a little nephew. He was like 3 years old. And then when he starts to get tired, he just fall on the ground. And then like he just passed out, but then he have his eyes closed and then look at you like one eye, like I can't see you, sir. I see your eye open. Like I know you're not really passed out. Little kids do stuff like that. Now these grown adults are behaving in the same kind of way. And let's check it out. Again, we're at Columbia on this one. Did you see that? Like rolling down the stairs? Listen, I have done the whole roll down the stairs thing when I was like, I don't know, 3 years old maybe. I was crazy though. I would do it for fun because it was fun to roll down the stairs. Getting hit, whatever, you know, boys are going to be boys. But I was 3 years old. At my big age right now, if I roll down the stairs intentionally, I'm gonna break all of this. My knee bone, my neck bone, my leg bone, all of that gonna be torn to pieces. We have adults doing the same thing that I did when I was a toddler. Check it out. Okay, we got a human chain forming again. All right.
Careful, careful.
you to leave now. Now. Get off the stairs. Get back or you're going to get arrested. Now.
Guys,
Let's go.
we're credentialed press.
Guys, clear this out.
My question is this. What's all the commotion for? What are we even doing? Again, as was said earlier, it's a protest about nothing. Nobody died or got deleted over here in the U.S. You talking about a foreign war? Really? That's the protest? But I told y'all, and you guys already know, I did not need to tell you because you guys are very smart and you knew it, but I told you that it'd get crazy. Election time, getting warm, summertime is going to get crazy. Here we are, May 1st. May 1st, we're about to get to the summertime. We're in the spring, and here we are already. But this is predictable. Every election year, it's the same thing. Every single time. And somebody said, why are some of them so fat being so young? Well, I mean, they don't do anything. They just kind of sit on their hind parts all day, eat, get fat, and complain about whatever's going on. Okay, if all you do is just sit and eat chicken tendies and Pop-Tarts and everything else and scroll your phone, you can balloon up real easy. So yeah, that's what's happening. And a lot of them, since they don't have the athletics, like they want to be part of something, some kind of community. They want to be part of it. All right. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Oh, here we go. This one is one of my favorites. All right. Let's watch this. Now, we got a few things going on. All right. There's a few things happening. Shinobi says, look, fat. Shout out to Joe Biden for that one. But okay, first things first. We got the Palestinian scarves. That's like their main thing. I wonder where they got that from. Probably from some shop that's linked to China. Some little kid hunched over making doing one little thing. Some 5-year-old in China made your scarf you got from Temu right now on your neck. Same thing for your boyfriend, girlfriend in the back with a halter top. Okay. I'm surprised you don't got a belly button piercing, but I'm getting too deep. Let's hear from her. And let her talk.
Why should the university be obligated to provide food to people who've taken over a building?
First of all, we're saying that they're obligated to provide food to students who pay for a meal plan here.
But you mentioned that there was a request that food and water be brought in, unless I misunderstood.
To allow it to be brought in. I mean, well, I guess it's ultimately a question of what kind of community and obligation Columbia feels it has to its students. Do you want students to die of dehydration and starvation or get severely ill, even if they disagree with you? If the answer is no, then you should allow it's crazy to say because we're on an Ivy League campus, but this is like basic humanitarian aid we're asking for. Like, could people please have a glass of water?
They did put themselves in that very deliberately in that situation and in that position. So it seems like you're sort of saying, we want to be revolutionaries, we want to take over this building. Now, would you please bring us food?
Exactly. Hey, you know what? We are revolutionaries. We're taking this space over. We're going to occupy this space. But I hungry.
Nobody's asking them to bring anything. We're asking them to not violently stop us from bringing in basic humanitarian aid.
They're stopping the delivery of food?
We are looking for a commitment from them that they will not stop it violently.
They haven't stopped it yet.
I don't know to what extent it has been attempted, but we're looking for a commitment.
And the Grubhub.
But look, though, I mean, at the end of the day, Grubhub, are they trying to get Grubhub? Really? Is that what we're doing? Man, they better not. I better not see none of these Che Guevara revolutionaries ordering no Uber Eats to the revolution. All right, last I checked, that's not how it works, okay? You want to be a Sandinista or something like that? They didn't have Uber Eats dropping off Starbucks and chicken tenders and whatnot to the front lines. That's not how that works, man. You better get it how you live. Get it how you live, which means figure out a way to forage. There's nice little plants back there. Can you eat those? I mean, hey, y'all can make it work. Get your man back here to stop worrying about fashion on TikTok and start planting some crops. Maybe by the next season, you have something to eat. Until then, oh well, it is what it is. All right. Humanitarian aid. It's crazy. All right. It's totally crazy. Humanitarian, like you can't occupy a space you shouldn't be in talking about some humanitarian aid. Just go back to the house. Go back to your mama house, and I'm sure she got a nice warm meal waiting for you. All right. I'm sure she has that available. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Yeah, going on hunger strike. Why not? Oodles and noodles, all of that. Now, here's a view of the force at Columbia, of the police force when they're about to go in. And we got zip ties, so they're ready to get rocking and rolling. Like I said, I think they had about 300 protesters, really the professional agitators, arrested with a handful of students. But you know what? This wouldn't have gotten this far if you were dealing with conservative people, any MAGA hat wearing, gun toting. Look, anybody that was seen as conservative doing something like this, it would have got squashed ASAP. ASAP. It would have been no ifs, ands, or buts. And here's another example. The media are not referring to this like they're talking about J6. You know, J6 was nowhere near this, really, but and when I say this, I mean all the protests, not just Columbia, but all over the country. You're having the same kind of thing going on. J6, nothing like this, but yet they don't cover this type of thing the way they cover J6. And the way they talk about it every day. They're talking about J6 for years, but these kind of protests, quote unquote protests, riots, within a week, the media will move on. Maybe within a few days, they'll move on. Like, they'll start talking about all these college riots in a few days, 3 days, 4 days max. But on that fourth day, when they forget about these, they'll bring up January 6th. That's how they operate. That is how they operate for 100% certain. All right, let's check this out right here. Now, I don't know what's going on. My man got a water bottle, like one of these, water cooler bottles. Now, I don't know what he was thinking trying to hit an officer who's wearing riot gear with an empty water cooler container. I don't know what was on his mind. Look, if I'm the officer and I see you armed with a water cooler container, man, look, you're getting one punch to the face, man. It's going to be night-night. Like, don't do that to yourself, all right? Put the water bottle down and go about your business. Do not try to assault me with that. If you do, you get in the George Foreman, an Evander Holyfield, a Mike Tyson right there. Bang! Right in the jaw. So yeah, the moral of the story is don't try to assault cops, and especially when you like totally outnumbered. You got a whole sea of cops. That guy did that and got absorbed by a sea of police officers and riot gear. So don't do that, man. You're just not doing the right thing. All right. Yeah, you're not doing the right thing, man. I don't know what you got in the water bottle. You got some weed smoke in there. I don't really get it. All right, let's check this out.
And police clearly getting ready to go in. I've covered lots of this sort of stuff around the world, and I've never seen this many police moving into one area.
Okay, let's talk about the shot we're now. Hey, Miguel, this shot we're seeing now. Where is this control room? Where's this?
This is 114th Street, east of Broadway. So they are as close to campus as you can get. And police clearly.
Yeah. So. A lot of police force, a lot of police presence. You want to act a fool, you want to carry on, I suggest you don't do it. Oh, and here's one thing. They got the Bearcat. Have you seen this piece of equipment? I like that. I want one of these from my actual house. I want to drive this down 75. All right, that's what I want. You know, if somebody says, hey, ABL, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want for Christmas? Bearcat, give me that right there. All right. Yeah, that's what I want right there. I want to be able to drive that just wherever I went. Right on the end. I pull up the Buc-ee's in that. Imagine that. Right at the gas pump and show off that way. You know, I don't want no Lamborghini, no Aston Martin, no Maybach. No, give me the Bearcat. That's what I want. All right. And if I need a CDL or something like that to get it, I want to get a waiver just for me. Let me just do my thing in that. And again, they brought this to Columbia. And you see it has a ladder on top, retractable. They were using that to get to high areas. And it's armored so they can do what they got to do. So, yeah, shout out to the Bearcat and shout out to NYPD for pulling all the little toys. I know they were happy to be able to use that. I know they were happy. Okay, now we have UCLA. yeah, Adam, that'd be good. I can use the Bearcat to clean my gutters. Right, exactly. That's what I'm going to do with it. I would never do anything beyond nice, pure tasks with the Bearcat. I'm cleaning my gutters. I'm rescuing baby kittens from trees. I'll be doing nice things like that. I'll be humanitarian with my Bearcat. All right. So let's check this out. This is going to be UCLA protesters demanding certain things. Let's see what they demand. If they say anything, maybe they want chicken tenders and Starbucks and whatnot as well. Let's check this out.
Live now from Fox, and we wanted to give you 4 different looks from 4 different areas across the United States as Gaza war protests continue right here at the moment. On the upper left-hand side of your screen, that is a live look out of Foley Square. This is in New York City as a protest is ongoing in that part of the area. Then right next to it on the upper right-hand side of your screen, that is a protest happening at the University of Las Vegas. This is a live look courtesy of KVVU. Right below that, that is a live look at a protest happening right now at George Washington University. And then on the left-hand side of your screen, on the lower left, that is a rally and a march happening right now out of San Francisco. Now, this was originally an International Workers' Day march and rally that's now transitioned into a Gaza war rally. As you can see, some of those Palestinian flags being flown there. Some of the marchers are calling for solidarity with the people of Palestine and an end to the state-sponsored violence of Israel and the U.S. So again, we are going to continue to very closely follow all of this. We also wanted to share this with you. Take a look because we have received, this is thanks to Fox Bill Malugin, as Fox News has obtained a Google document with a list of needs that protesters at UCLA camp are.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I got to read this. You guys have to hear this, okay? I can see the list. It might be a little bit small for you, but if you can't see, I'll leave it on the screen. Shout out to you guys watching on the TV. You probably can see the actual list. Okay, so they want vegan and gluten-free food. I'm not making this up. Super bright flashlights and strobe, rope and zip ties, helmets, shields, and wood, lotion, no sunscreen, knee and elbow pads. But there's more. Please ensure donations are BDS compliant. You know what BDS is? That's like when you are boycotting anything from Israel. And if that's wrong, let me know in the comments. But anyway, urgent headlamps, airsoft goggles, gas masks, respirators, especially for our medics, heart emoji, skater helmets, shields, wood for the barrier, knee and elbow pads, rain ponchos, canopies, utility gloves without reinforced knuckles of various sizes, especially for small hands, super bright flashlights with strobe charged, umbrellas, medical. We need EpiPens. We got people that got allergies. They got peanut allergies and everything else. Okay, you put some pork in my gluten-free smoothie. Now I'm having an episode. I need an EpiPen. non-steroid inhalers. So we got asthma. Okay, I didn't look. I walked 2 steps for the first time because normally I sit on my hind parts. I take Uber everywhere. I never walk around. So now if I took 2 steps, walk around campus, I'm about to die. I got to get an inhaler, headlamps, organizational bins, and then here goes the food. Hot food for lunch! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Important! All caps. 2 exclamation marks. Vegan food, gluten-free food, ice with a cooler. Anyway, no packaged food because we gotta be pretty healthy. We want to eat whole foods. We don't give me no cookies and cream. Like that's for the poorest. We're above that. No packaged foods, okay? No coffee, no bagels, because that's Jewish, I suppose. We don't like that, I suppose. No bananas, no nuts. Fill out this form if you're interested in coordinating a meal. All right. So yeah, that's part of what they want right there. All right. So yeah, shout out to them.
Across the country. But again, we did want to share this with you. Again, as Fox News has obtained a Google document with a list of needs that protesters at the UCLA camp are now requesting. And again, you can continue to take a look at this full list as Fox News is also reporting it and as Bill Malugin is. But again, as we continue to follow all of these protests unfold, again, another live look from 4 different cities across the United States: New York, San Francisco, Washington, D.C., Las Vegas. Again, right there, all on your...
Yeah, exactly. Bring in ice, not the actual ice you put in your drinks or ice to keep your food cold. Bring in the immigration and customs enforcement and deport some of these illegal aliens back to their country of origin or somewhere else. All right, get them out of here. Get them out.
Screen.
So yeah, I do agree with bringing nice. Rest of that, vegan food, gluten-free food. How about not?
Okay.
Oh, in case you haven't seen the Bearcat in action, this is what they were able to do. You see, they were able to get up to this upper floor window by using the ladder on top of the Bearcat to be able to do it. You see?
We hear some noises. It sounds like they're oh, an officer is going through the window. The first officer has entered the window. People are screaming on the street in response. Okay, here they go. Okay, we hear...
Look, man, if it's me, I'm like, and I have that vantage point, I'm throwing in all kind of smoke and like whatever, man. Get up out of there. Flashbang, smoke, and that'll pretty much do it. Or maybe like a little small EMP, kill the cell phones. Look, ain't no more TikTok, ain't no more updates. They'll be ready to come out of there right away. Now, I got to play this. This is the young lady, Noah Faye. She is, pardon me, she identifies as Jewish, Native, and Black. Now, I guess you can have that happen. Like, the way they say that you're Jewish if it comes through the mother. So if her mom is Jewish, then she can be Jewish. Like Drake. Drake is biracial, black and white, but because his mom is Jewish, that means he's Jewish too. But anyway, I digress. If it was the other way around, then he wouldn't be. Whatever. So she identifies as Black, Native, and Jewish. And she's saying that the Jews who are supporting Palestine are the same as Blacks for Trump and gays for Trump because they're not taken seriously and they're tokens. Okay? They're tokens. Now, my thing is this. Why you got to put us in it? We're talking about conservatives. We're more likely, but not all the time, we're more likely to support your cause as a Jewish person than your own people on the college campus. She goes to Columbia, and it's her liberal people that are protesting against Israel. Okay, but you're not going to see any of us out there, even if we don't support what's happening over there. You're not going to see us all in the protests, talking about can I get some chicken tenders delivered to the protest, and can I get some ponchos and gluten-free food? That's not us. That's your people doing that. So why you got to put us under the bus? I guess the correlation is you see it as going against your own, but I don't know how. How is voting for Trump as a Black person going against your own? I don't get it. Voting for Biden is going in the favor of my own. If you want to know, if you want to vote for me or Trump, then you ain't Black. Okay. I don't really understand the crime, but 1994 crime bill. I don't get it. But this is the racism and bigotry that she's exhibiting is the same kind of racism and bigotry that she is experiencing on campus. The same thing she's given to us as Black Trump supporters is what she's getting back on campus for identifying as Jewish by some people. Some are just acting the fool because they don't even know why. And some straight up don't like Jews at all. That's going to be more leftists, not the conservative people that do that. All right, let's check this out.
You describe yourself as Black, Native American, and Jewish. You've talked about how your feelings of feeling accepted on the campus changed after October 7th. What has that been like?
It's been really difficult. Again, I went through a lot of this grief process and primarily experiencing this issue in the first semester. That's when I learned that the community that I felt previously so accepted by, specifically because of my identities, all of this was actually conditional, and the one condition is my Jewish identity, which I assumed was also another reason why I was so uplifted, because the Jewish people are a significant minority.
One of the things that your classmates will say is that they are protesting Zionism, which is specifically this movement to create, to develop, to support a Jewish state. Is it legitimate, in your view, to protest Zionism specifically?
Absolutely not. And
but okay, I gotta stop her right there. Why is it not okay to protest that? My thing is, you can protest whatever you want. The issue is when you become non-peaceful. You could protest anything. You could protest me. Look, if you want to, you can organize a protest against ABL, and I would say yes, you can do that. If you had me on CNN and say, hey, can we protest ABL specifically? Anthony Brown Logan, can we protest you? Yes, sure. You have the freedom of speech. You can protest whatever you want in this country. The problem is when you get to the violence, when it is not a protest and it becomes a riot. That's the difference. So what she's saying right here is completely ridiculous. And it's part of the reason why her friends have, quote unquote, turned on her, because she is not thinking properly and she's not good herself. When you are a bad person hanging around other bad people, you're going to get negative consequences. And part of that is her youth and ignorance. But I digress.
There are many different ways you can look at this. But number one is that Zionism makes the Jewish people, 80% of them identify as Zionists, potentially more. I would have to check the statistics, but I know it is at least 80%. More than that, though, I can't explain the 20% that don't identify with that, and I won't try to. But we know that Zionism, which is the Jewish right to self-determination in our historic homeland, is inextricably linked to our religion.
Do you think it's synonymous effectively with being Jewish?
Absolutely. Absolutely it is. But more than that, though, taking away the Jewish aspect of it, at least at Columbia, we do not protest any form of any person's right to self-determination. There's no other movement, and there's no other self-determination movement that is protested that I've seen, definitely not at Columbia. So
that's completely false. I mean, people protest everything. I mean, go to DC, they're going to protest any and everything because it's your right. People go to DC and they exercise their rights. You don't hear about it because they don't get violent like y'all doing at Columbia. But people protest everything under the sun because they can. It's their right. And that's what being an American is, part of it, having these rights that other countries don't have.
For this to be the only movement that is taken issue with amongst the students, and that it's the Jewish movement, it is inherently anti-Semitic.
That's crazy to say that protesting anything is racist or anti-Semitic. That's totally ridiculous. And then somebody would say, well, how would you know she's Jewish? Well, how do you know anybody's Jewish? Really? I mean, I can't really tell. I mean, unless you got a Star of David or a yarmulke or something like that. I don't know. How am I really going to know? Benjamin Netanyahu, you looking like just a regular person. If I saw him like just on the street corner somewhere selling hot dogs, I would not know what he is. I know he's white. I don't know if he's Jewish or what. I don't know.
You see your faculty members, professors, they today linked hands and arms, and they blocked the entrance to the encampment. When you saw that, what do you think of their position?
I'm disgusted, honestly, if only because, again, the situation has gotten so out of hand that no matter how you look at it, even if we're taking out the political element, the anti-Semitic element even, it is just absolute anarchy on campus. And to see that faculty are supporting this, and in a way that is, in this instance today, they were barring students who, in my opinion, you could consider them to be paying for these lawns. They're barring students from enjoying the resources that we all have a right to. So that alone is just absolutely inexcusable to be seen from faculty.
As I'm sure you know, there are Jewish students who are a part of the pro-Palestinian protests. You've compared them to blacks for Trump, gays for Trump.
Absolutely.
It's fair?
Yeah, of course it's fair. I mean, I say take them as seriously as we all take blacks for Trump and gays for Trump. And I think it's absolutely a fair comparison. It's the same tokenization that we're seeing. And in terms of our perception.
So let me get this straight. So we're tokens because we're black folks and we support Trump. Okay, so I'm a token for that. And then the Jews who support the Palestinians are also tokens. But what are you? See, when they had you speak at an event to support Zionism, why were you there? Are you a token as a black Jewish person? See, the same energy you put out there is used against you. Matter of fact, hold on. I think somebody said it in the comments, and the exact same thing she said was given right back to her. So watch this. Okay, some random person, I ain't gonna put their name out there, some Zemzer said this: NoFA is literally an AIPAC black Jewish Zionist token they bought and tried out at their events like the March for Israel in Washington. And of course, CNN gleefully participates in his genocide laundering through an actual token projecting their pathological being onto others. I'm not saying I agree with this at all. I'm not saying that, but this is what I'm talking about. When you want to call others the token and say, oh, because they're black and they support Trump, then they're tokens. Because they're Jewish and they support Palestine, then they're tokens. Well, so are you. If you want to play that game, you can't call others tokens while trying to escape that label yourself. Again, I don't like racism when it's against anybody. I don't care what religion, what color, nothing. And when you put racism out there, you're going to get it right back to you, and you can't cry about it when it happens. All right. So, yeah, shout out to her. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. But, yeah, Zazer literally wrote that. I'm not going to put the person's names out there, but the person has ZEI underscore in front of their name, and their picture is a squirrel. All right, I probably gave you too much right there. I ain't trying to have nobody harass a person. But yeah, you got a furry picture and you got a crazy name. It's really crazy. Now, speaking about certain individuals, we have Trump going through the trial right now. And the star witness is this individual right here. Now, hold on. Before I get to the star witness of the Trump trial and what he's got going on, what his little hobby, what his little pastime has been, which is really crazy, and you probably won't even guess it. Here's my question. Okay, if there is a gag order on Donald Trump for the, the Stormy Daniels hush money trial, if there's a gag order on Trump, then why doesn't that same gag order apply to everyone in the trial? Why is it only against Trump? So if he said something about certain people, then it's a violation. If Michael Cohen says something, Stormy Daniels says something, if anybody in the trial says something, there's no issue. But if Trump says something, then it's a problem. Look, either we're going to have no gag order or it should apply to everyone in the trial. Why is it only against Trump? That's not fair. But look at your man right here. Now, you're talking about Trump having a gag order and they got violated and they got held in contempt. And they found him the pettiest $9,000 US. Look, $9,000, you could be a guy that sells hot dogs with coleslaw on the side of the road for a living and have that kind of money and cash in your pocket at the end of the day. $9,000, the pettiest thing in the world. Then they talking about if he keeps violating the gag order by posting on True Social about certain people, then he might go to the penitentiary or the jail. It's like, really? You're going to lock Trump up for Truth Social posts? Isn't that a First Amendment violation? That's what I was just talking about. See, I'm consistent. Look, you could protest ABL and it's fine. I don't care. That's your First Amendment right. Protest me. Do whatever you want. You have that right. I would never say you can't protest anything, including me, whether it be Israel, Palestine, bad feet, veneer text, whatever it is. That's your right as an American. Now, same thing goes when you're talking about Trump. He has freedom of speech as well. So now, and freedom of speech protects you from being locked up from saying things that are seen as whatever. Okay? You can't have a peaceful protest and get locked up. You can't say, I don't like this person, I don't like that person, and get locked up. That is a literal First Amendment violation. But here we are with your man, Michael Cohen, on TikTok. Now, what he's doing on TikTok is streaming and collecting donations. Let's watch some of the stream, shall we? You ready?
Or encumber these assets anymore, they will then start to sell them off. These here, commercial properties. He has 2 or 3, for example, parking garage. He gets it because there's something mentally wrong with somebody who doesn't understand. The judge has had enough. He's messing with the wrong. Going to take this.
Now, what is he doing? I don't understand TikTok. I'm old. I'm Uncle ABL at this point. I'm the old man. Like, hey nephew, what's this TikTok face chat thing we got going on? Why is he doing a heart emoji? What's going on? Why is he doing this? Why keep doing that? Like, is that him just saying thank you to the audience? What is going on?
He is not going to just of this. And on top of that, look, we're all sitting here and we're all watching every single day. They will operate all 10 o'clock again. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Oh, you still on my little line, the same bad time, same bad channel. No, you didn't, Michael Cohen.
Then. Or encumber the.
All right, so that's your man, Michael Cohen, streaming on TikTok and getting money, okay? That's what's going on. He's making money from these streams, talking about what's happening with the trial and things of that nature. He can do that, but Trump posts on True Social, and it's a gag order violation. Make that make sense. Is it the NPC? Is he doing the NPC trend? Oh my goodness, no, that's crazy. That is totally crazy. Hold on, Bredicka says it's a TikTok. It's a tick you get. Spending too much time on TikTok. Okay, that might be it. All right, yeah. He's sneak watching my live stream, getting some pointers for his stream on TikTok. A complete cringe fest. But Michael Cohen is able to do that, and it's no problem. There's articles written talking about, it might be an issue. It might be a cause for concern. It might be. Well, if Trump was doing that, you already know what would happen. They would say that he's completely spitting in the face of the court. Double standards, man, I don't like. If it's going to be one thing for one person, let it be the same thing for all persons. Don't give one person unfair treatment or, not fair treatment. Unfair or too fair. Have everybody be on the same level when you're talking about the court of law. But anyway, so here's Trump on Truth Social, what he said. He says, this judge taking away my constitutional right to free speech. I am the only presidential candidate in history to be gagged. This whole trial is rigged. And by taking away my freedom of speech, this highly conflicted judge is rigging the presidential of 2024 election interference. Yeah, it's kind of hard to argue with the point he's making, because if it's going to be a gag order, then let it be against everybody, not just one person. That's clearly a targeted thing against the president, because we all know it's lawfare to keep Trump out of the way. Now, they want to have Kamala Harris come in and be the vice president again. That's what they want. But I don't think she's going to make it. I don't think he's going to make it. She's out there campaigning because he's not able to do it. They put Joe Biden out there. He cannot walk straight in the line. If Joe Biden was to try a sobriety test, he would fail ASAP without one drop of alcohol in the system. No alcohol, no weeds, no nothing. He could be straight off a nutritious meal on a full 8 hours rest and no alcohol, no weeds, no nothing, and fail a sobriety test because he could not walk in the straight line. He could not really do much. Okay, what's my name? Where am I at? What am I doing? That's pretty much where he is in this stage of his life. All right. And it's okay to decline as a human being because we're all going to decline at a certain point. But it's not okay to be the president of the USA like that and act like we don't see what's going on. All right. You had your time. You were in Congress for 50 years, half a century since the 1970s. Look, Joe Biden has been in office since my parents were not even teenagers yet. Nah, I'm lying to you not. 1970, what? They might have just been getting to teenage years. I'm talking about my parents were in middle school. My parents now were in middle school when Joe Biden came in office in Delaware as a senator. What, 1972, 1973? Ridiculous. So he can't go out there and campaign. So they got Kamala Harris doing it, and she's not doing a very good job either. Let's check out what's happening here.
Everything is in context. My mother she would give us a hard time sometimes, and she would say to us, I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you. Everything.
Okay, there we go. So wise words from Kamala Harris. Now, here we go with a cringe interview.
Here.
One of the most cringe interviews you're going to see in your life. This is just like the Oprah interview. And I got to pull that one up in case you hadn't seen it. Because I think that kind of started it. I don't know if it's being done on purpose. It's kind of like the Eric Andre show, if you ever seen that. But he would just do cringe interviews because that's part of the brand. All right. But here she is. Now look, if it's me and I'm doing an interview, you don't gotta be that close to me. You all on my personal space, gazing in my eyes. Let's stop. I'm uncomfortable. All right. I wouldn't even go on Drew Barrymore. If I saw the Oprah interview, I wouldn't even go in there. It's like, nah, you be too close. I ain't trying to get rubbed on by the interviewer. Okay. I ain't trying to have no Me Too case because you rubbed on my arm. All right. And no, how about not? We could do a Zoom interview or something like that. I'm not going to be having Drew Barrymore like 1 inch from my face or my body.
Some people love to talk about the way I laugh.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I love your laugh.
Well, let me just tell you something. I have my mother's laugh. Oh. And I grew up around a bunch of women in particular who laughed from the belly. Yeah. They laughed. They would sit around the kitchen and drinking their coffee, telling big stories with big laughs. I'm never going to be, that's just, I'm not that person.
Now, okay. Couple of things. What's going on with this pantsuit? It's a Hillary Clinton collection. Like, you got Steve Harvey suits from the 1990s, early 2000s, them big, crazy, about to go get locked up suits that did not fit at all. The tailor is pretty much drunk on the job. Those kind of suits from the Steve Harvey collection. Well, this might be the Hillary Clinton collection. The pantsuit with the little brooch type situation. I don't even know what that's called. This big scarf in the center. With the shoulder pads, the print shoulder pads, this might be the Hillary Clinton collection. All right, you're trying to become the president or the vice president. You put that pantsuit on, a power pantsuit. That might be what it is with the American flag pin right there in the bottom. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so shout out to Hillary Clinton for her collection of pantsuits. Yeah, I don't think it's really going to be a big fashion starter. That's more about people that work in DC. They're going to wear that one. Now let's look at some of the prior interview with Oprah. Okay, now this was crazy. I think they told her to tone it down because watch this. Now look, they're grasping, they're holding hands. It's like, no, what are we doing? You could shake my hand right quick, but at a certain point, if you're holding my hand too long after the handshake is complete, look, it's a simple motion and we're done. If we shake hands, and you're still holding it, now we got to fight because now you touching me too much. Simple handshake, done. But they are grasping hands. What's going on here?
Soothing. I want somebody to do this for me all the time.
All the time.
This is good.
Something I'm available. I can do it.
Oprah Winfrey is defending Drew Barrymore after the talk show host faces criticism for invading the media icon's personal. Producers sat down with Barrymore.
Now you got a dog on the couch. Whose dog is that? I mean, shout out to all the dogs out there. Shout out to the pups. Shout out to the pooches. But I mean, why do we have a dog on the couch in the interview? What is going on? I don't really understand. This is just way too much personal invasion, too much touch, too much intimacy for a TV interview. It's like, are we having an interview or are we on the couch watching Netflix? Is this Netflix and chill or interview? I'm doing too much. Hold on.
Alongside Douglas the dog. On the ep, Oprah recalled her experiences as a talk show host back in the day.
This is hard to do every day. It looks like it's the most fun, and it is the most fun. And I know that you feel that way because that comes through. You love your audience.
She's rubbing her arm throughout this whole time while holding her hand. That's how cringe Drew Barrymore is. I don't understand. Maybe they're trying to tell her to do that to stand out, to be different from other people. I don't really get it. But yeah, shout out to Kamala Harris and Drew Barrymore. I mean, you're talking about cringe. My goodness. Now, okay, I almost forgot about the whole Mamala thing. That was really cringe too. I'll play that right quick.
Joe Biden.
All right, y'all give me a second.
Is leaning.
Well, let me just tell you something. Belly.
Hating Kamala's laugh sexist. But don't worry, they're hard at work rebranding Kamala for the 19th time.
We all need a mom. I've been thinking that we really all need a tremendous hug in the world right now.
Yeah.
But in our country, we need you to be Mamala of the country. We need a great protector.
Yeah, how about no? How about the Mamala thing? Yeah, we're not gonna do that. I don't want you to be Mamala. That was so cringe. Matter of fact, hold on. I gotta find the one where they got her reaction. Because I think even Kamala was like, nah, nah, that's not really what we're gonna do. Oh, here we go. This was crazy. Her face. I'm gonna try to get a freeze from her face when she reacted to what was going on.
I've been thinking that we really all need a tremendous hug in the world right now.
Yeah.
But in our country, we need you to be Mamala of the country.
Yeah, that right there, that's pretty much wraps it up right there. That's how she wanted to react.
I've been
so cringe. I mean, meanwhile, hey, you know what? Somebody said that's the border czar. You know, this person right here, that's the border czar. And you wonder why the border's wide open, why everybody coming over here. Every time Dick, Harry from all over the whole world is coming through our border, unfettered, illegally, doing whatever they want to do, whenever they want to do it. Because the border czar is right here, cringing on Drew Barrymore's talk show for no reason. No reason. Why are you even on there? How is that going to help the American people? Why do we care that you on a Drew Barrymore show? You're just trying to campaign for Joe Biden so he can try to win. Meanwhile, you guys are not doing your jobs. I prefer you just go out there and work and get your job done, rather than cringing on Drew Barrymore show. But anyway, RFK. I found this little gem right here. Did you know that RFK Jr. wrote a book in 2008 attacking voter ID and saying that voter fraud doesn't exist? Okay, now, here's a question. Has he addressed this yet? I've not seen him address it. Okay, I've not seen him address it. But let's go ahead and just watch this so you understand what's going on.
Or whatever, but it's actually a comic book written by radical Democrat RFK Jr. Now, the comic book published all the way back in 2008, so, you know, a little early internet, a little early social media for you, argues, among other things, that voter ID laws are, quote, I kid you not, racially rancid. He also claims in this, by the way, the cover art for this comic book is ridiculous, but he also claims voter fraud has been non-existent. Now, his argument is that, quote, 1 out of every 10 Americans don't have a government-issued ID because they don't travel abroad, so they don't have passports, they don't drive cars, so they don't have driver's license, and the number rises to 1 in 5 when you're dealing with the African-American community, according to him. And indeed, for those people to get a government-issued ID, it's an obstacle. So it's a little racist on his end, and all that is on.
So RFK Jr. says that if you black, you can't get an ID. It's just kind of hard, you know. Like we don't Like, we don't really do anything. We don't go do things. We don't have, can't get no ID. All right. So that's his stance. That's the good guy, his stance, RFK Jr.
Page 16 of the comic, I actually went through and looked at it all because I couldn't believe it. And it's kind of in my wheelhouse. So numerous polls taken in recent years have shown that more than 3/4 of Americans support requiring proof of ID to cast a ballot.
So is that Jesse Jackson on the back of his comic book? Or somewhere in there? Okay. So what's really going on there? I don't know what's going on with this guy. Jesse RFK, I'm not a fan. He said some things I agree with. I'm not going to sit here and say that he said something I agree with, like the vax and things of that nature. But everything else, I don't really see a lot of good. Wasn't he on Epstein's plane as well? Like he's got some issues for sure. Although he does say some things that I agree with, but that right there is crazy. Yeah, getting an ID is not an obstacle. It's easy to go to the DMV. We know where it's at. If you are a person with no ID, you don't want to get an ID. You just are refusing to get it because it's so simple. It's so easy. It's not a thing that's difficult to do. And voting with an ID is so easy. When I go to vote where I live, all you got to do, show your ID, get your ballot and vote. You be in and out of there in a few minutes, 10 minutes. It's so simple. To say that process is racist is ridiculous. If you have a fraction of an IQ, you can do it. A fraction of an IQ, you can go do that. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. Yeah, but having an ID is essential. You got to look, you want to go to the club. You want to go to the club, you want to fly, and we all flying. Look, we're flying airplane. We're not flying airplanes. We're flying on airplanes. We driving cars. Even if you're poor and you're relying on government benefits, how are you going to get that with no ID? Section 8, government housing, government payments, benefits. You got to have ID. Going to a job, you can't live with no ID. I don't understand. You may not have an ID if you just sell crack for a living, which is not the majority of black folks, obviously. It's not even a thing anymore. It's not 2000. This is not 1988. It's 2024. Okay, you got guys trying to drive trucks or something else rather than trying to sell crack for a living. But anyway, let's keep on going here. We got some more. Oh, this is about your man, Jerry Seinfeld. So Jerry Seinfeld is talking about how the left have killed comedy. I might have played this last time. I'm going to play it one more time.
It used to be you would go home at the end of the day. Most people would go, oh, Cheers is on. Oh, MASH is on. Oh, Mary Tyler Moore is on. All in the Family's on. You just expected there'll be some funny stuff we can watch on TV tonight. Well, guess what? Where is it? Where is it? This is the result of the extreme left and PC crap and people worrying so much about offending other people. Mm-hmm. Now they're going to see stand-up comics because we are not policed by anyone. The audience polices us. We know when we're off track. Mm-hmm. We know instantly, and we adjust to it instantly. But when you write a script and it goes into 4 or 5 different hands, committees, groups, here's our thought about this joke, well, that's the end of your comedy.
Have you had that experience?
No.
Because isn't that what Curb is all about?
Yeah. Larry was grandfathered in. He's old enough that I don't have to observe those rules because I started before you made those rules.
So yeah, shout out to Jerry Seinfeld talking about how the left have killed comedy. And that manifests itself on television. There's no more comedy TV shows. Like he was saying, back in the day, you could turn on the TV and you would find a funny show on television. And they weren't worried about being politically correct. It was just funny. It was just a good show. Those days are gone. They're long gone. And TV has become so fractured. We're not having the same experiences together. Like back when I was a kid, you might watch whatever the hot show was at the time. Let's say it was Family Matters or Fresh Prince, whatever it was. You watch the show and you go to school next day, talk about it. Those days are gone. People are watching Netflix, random stuff. People are more keyed into content creators than they are TV in many ways. And if they are watching TV, they're probably not watching any comedy at all. That might be why people are so upset and so triggered all the time, because they don't laugh. They don't laugh anymore. They're watching TV and things are so serious and political and cringe, they don't have time to laugh. There's no more comedy because everything's offensive. People get offended at every little thing. So it's impossible to have a show like a Seinfeld in 2024. All in the Family, all of that. Yeah, it's over. It's totally over. No more. A sitcom is dead because comedy is now offensive. This is why there's more of a focus on the stand-up and comedy specials like Chappelle and maybe even a Joe Rogan, if he goes out there and does a comedy special or tours. They focus on that because you're not worried about TV executives getting in the way, giving their 2 cents, talking about, oh, that's too offensive, that's not right, that's not. We don't got time for that, to try to have the executive come in and put their 2 cents onto what you're doing. You could just go out there and, like you said, have the audience correct you in real time if you just going off the track and it's not what they want. You get direct feedback from the audience rather than having to go through a middleman of the executive where they filter down what they think the audience should hear and what they should see. Give it straight to me. If I go to Dave Chappelle's show, I want to hear Dave Chappelle. I don't want to hear what an executive has filtered from Dave Chappelle. And that's probably part of the reason why he didn't take that money back in the day. Remember Dave Chappelle? He had a Chappelle show, and then they offered him like $50 million, and he went to Africa, fled, because he didn't want to be just a puppet for them to do what they wanted. And I remember that time, because when he fled, people were kind of like, why would you do that? Is money on the table? We love this show. But he didn't want to be a part of their system. And I remember Affion Crockett had a show that was just like the Chappelle show, but it was, how can I say this? Affion Crockett's show came out after the Chappelle show stopped because Chappelle stopped doing it because of the whole situation. Affion Crockett's show looked like what they wanted the Chappelle show to be. Really stereotypical and cringe. And you could look at that show and see, oh, okay, I get it. He did not want his show to be watered down and filtered to make it be kind of a mockery or a minstrel like how they probably wanted. And of course, Affion Crockett's show flopped, and he's pretty much just out here trying to do regular comedies like everybody else nowadays. Yeah, and then at the end of it, it paid off for Chappelle because now here comes Netflix. It's a little bit less regulated. You go in there and do your comedy specials. You're getting 20 M's per special. And you can do tours, you can do movies or whatever you want. You have more freedom. That's part of the reason why I decide to remain independent and do my own thing. I have sponsors and stuff now, but the sponsors I have are not those. I have sponsors, but it's not like I'm part of a network. You got some guys that will sign to a network like Candace Owens did. Nothing against her, but I'm just saying this is an example of what I'm talking about. So Candace Owens had signed to Daily Wire, but once you do that, now you got to answer to Ben Shapiro and Jeremy Boring. I'm never going to have that. I'm never going to have that. Look, okay, if I got a sponsor, they're signing straight with me. And if they don't like my content and we want to part ways, okay, that's fine. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing. If they want to stop, that's fine. It's totally okay. I'm not tripping. I'm not worried about some middleman getting in the way between myself and you guys. I'm going to say what I want to say, and if sponsors like it, then I love it. If they don't, okay, that's fine. Have a nice day. Find someone that is a fit. I'm not going to be under a contractual bind to do what anyone tells me to do. It don't matter how much money it is. It's not worth it. That's kind of how I feel. All right. Yeah, I ain't never going to sell out. No, any sponsor you see me have, they want to be with me. It's never a thing where I'm reaching out to them saying, hey, I'll do this if you give me some money. Never, ever, 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 ever will I do that. All right. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I always deal with those that want to deal with me. Just like my website host. I told you guys many years ago when COVID first broke out, I did an article that went viral on my website. And I got a call from my host, and they weren't tripping. They weren't mad about the article because it was talking about COVID and ivermectin. They weren't worried about that. They were just like, hey man, your article's doing very good and we support you. We want to help you get into a higher tier. So make sure your site does not drop. It doesn't crash anymore. And then they gave me a tier that was worth much more than what I was paying. A little inside baseball for you guys that didn't hear the story. So back then in 2020, my website crashed because my article went viral about COVID, and my website host calls me and they say, we got to put you on a higher plan. They quoted me $600 a month to pay for the plan. But I found out later the plan they put me on was something that you would have for like a really major e-commerce website, like a Shein or something like that. I'm talking about Amazon level. I was on the Amazon server for $600 a month. Now, for you guys that know, that is really cheap. You're talking about a plan that normally costs about $2,000 a month. They looked out for me to hook me up, and they said, no problem, write what you want to write. We're not going to get in the way. That's who I do with. That's who I like. I don't like anybody that's going to get in the way and say, oh, I can't. No, we're not doing that. Support me in what I got going on, or don't, or go over there, and it's fine. Yep. So shout out to my host and shout out to the plan I was on. $600 a month when the plan was easily $2,000. Easily. I forget what it was called. I had an Amazon AWS server on my website for that price. For you guys that know, you know what it is. All right, let's keep on moving here. Dedicated Amazon AWS. Anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Yeah, I crashed the whole server when the website, when the article went viral. I was on the share, at the time I was on the shared server, the whole server crashed. Everybody's website on the server crashed because the article was so crazy. All right. Yeah, shout out to you, Duke Roll. Like the picture of my dad on Twitter of the my firefighter father on Twitter. Yeah, that was crazy. What happened in New York? When I did this story about the firefighter who got fired for the migrants, and if you guys didn't hear the story, basically in New York City, a firefighter was fired to make room for the migrants, and he died 4 months later of a heart attack, age 36. Now, there was a lot that went on with that. First of all, he was on extended desk duty because he had some issues before. He had a heart attack some years ago in the academy. I think it might have been in 2019. He had a heart attack. And people are asking, hey, how are you a firefighter and you appear to be in pretty good shape? And I put him on the screen. His name is Derek Floyd. How are you a firefighter in pretty good shape and you have a heart attack at the age of, 32 and then 36 and you die? Well, the issue with firefighters, I'll explain it to you guys right quick if you don't know. And I put my dad's picture up too for you guys who want to see. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, so first, there's Dad right there. I'm not sure when this was. This is probably like 2005, 2006, maybe. It might have been before that. I can't really tell where this was. I don't know when this was. This had to have been like 05, I would say. All right. So that's him right there, and the firefighter, not in that's in the I forgot what they call that, what kind of dress they call that, but he was getting ready to go to a ceremony in this uniform right here. All right. Now, yes, if you were to see him and I together, twins, we're the exact same size. If I shaved my beard, you wouldn't tell the difference. Yep. So yeah. Shout out to him. I look like I'm a kind of a blend of both of my parents. If you see my mom, she's more like me in my face with my facial features, like my cheekbones and all that, and my skin tone is mom all day. But also with Dad, I look just like him too. It's a perfect blend of both. But physically, we were the exact same size, same height, same weight, everything. It was crazy. All right. So that's Dad back in the day in the firefighter uniform. And this is the firefighter from New York who passed away. Derek Floyd, 36 years old, died of a heart attack. There's his wife, his widow now, and his 2 kids, a 6-year-old boy, 2-year-old girl. Now, that's him in the funeral. He was also in the military. He was in the military. I think he was in, I don't want to say the wrong branch, so I'm not going to say what branch he was in, but he was in the military, got out, and then joined the fire department. Same thing with Dad. Dad was in the military. Dad went to the Marine Corps at age 17, Parris Island, and then he went to Air Force later as a reservist, but he was in the Marines, then the Marines, and then he went to Air Force Reserve. But when Dad was about 30 years old, he got into the fire department. Same thing as my man right here. So a lot of parallels. But what happened was Mr. Floyd had a heart attack in 2019. So they put him on kind of a desk duty thing. And he was trying to get cleared to come back to the fire department. They fired him. And then 4 months later, he dies. Now, he had a heart attack again after he got fired. And when he got fired, he was just short of being able to get death benefits for his family to the tune of $600,000. So now they're left trying to fundraise to pick up the pieces because the husband and their father died. Now, check it out. I'm going to explain something to you about firefighters and heart attacks right quick because I kind of understood what was going on. Because I studied it a lot. Dad told me before he died, long before he died, he was like, firefighters, when they retire, a lot of times they wind up dying of heart attacks. In their 50s and 60s is very common, or more common than the regular workforce, because when you work as a firefighter, a professional firefighter, and what I mean by that is a paid firefighter. If you're a volunteer, it's a little bit different, I suppose. But if you're, and by the way, volunteer firefighters are 70% of the population in this country. Most firefighters are volunteer throughout the USA. But back to professional, you're at the station sleeping 24-hour shifts. You work 9 days a month, but you sleep there. You're there for a full 24 hours. So when the alarm goes off, when the siren goes off, you could be in a deep sleep and you got to get up. So your body, your heart has to wake up from that sleep, because when you're sleeping, you have a lower heart rate, a lower breathing rate. So when you got to get up violently like that in the middle of the night from a deep sleep, and you got to put on heavy equipment, you got to get on a loud truck, and you might have to go to a fire, you're breathing in smoke a little bit, or you might see somebody on the ground, they might be dead. You're hyperventilating because you're seeing somebody's body. All of that is going to put a lot of stress on your heart. A lot of stress in your heart. So guys sometimes can't handle it and they have heart attacks. I think firefighters have the highest risk of cardiac arrest out of any profession in the world because of that. Waking up, deep sleep, 0 to 100, heavy equipment, it's going to put a lot of strain on your heart. That's why a lot of guys have heart attacks in the fire department. Yep. So yeah, that's kind of what it is. Up and down weight loss. It's pure stress on your heart. Pure stress. That's the reason why that happens. So they know that when you're talking about FDNY, they know that. That's why there's certain benefits you get. But they fired him right before the benefits kicked in because they knew that they could escape the benefits, trying to cut money for the migrants. So if not for the migrant crisis, my man might still be living, or he might not have been fired. So if he did pass away, his family would have gotten benefits, but now they got to fundraise. So yeah, way to roll. I had to kind of get told that thing about the firefighters and what happens to them. Yeah, Dad told me that a long time ago, because I remember you would see some guys that he knew, his colleagues, would be 55, 53, even younger sometimes, dying of heart attacks, or to have a heart attack and not die and then just be injured. Yep, very common, unfortunately. So RIP to him. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, do you guys remember Moby? Moby, the musician, I forget what his song is, but here he is talking about the Electoral College, and he's not being very inclusive with his speech here. Let's check him out.
The Republicans in the United States are a minority party. They only represent about 35% of the population, if that. But they figured out how to control the levers of power. To undo that, we need to end the Electoral College, make the Senate proportionally representative, expand the Supreme Court, end gerrymandering, have ranked choice voting, give statehood to D.C. and Puerto Rico. The Republicans in the United States are a minority party. They only represent about 35% of the population, if that. But they figured out how to control the levers of power.
So why are you trying to marginalize minorities? It's funny how they are about minorities. Only when they think that minorities are deserving of protection do they protect them. Beyond that, they try to get them out the way. That's kind of how that works. But anyway, shout out to this guy. Somebody said the viral article, how do you find it? It's on my website. I'll show it and then you guys can check it out. But it's always on the front page. All right. So this is the article right here, the Doctor Summit. All right. So this one right here, this video right here went viral. That was the one. Okay. And I had to put a disclaimer in it. Oh, it was a whole big thing. I was getting, this was crazy. Facebook demonetized me because of the article. Google AdSense put a warning talking about if you don't put a disclaimer, we're going to take your whole account. It was crazy. Okay. But my host stood by me the whole time. Okay. That was the White Coat Summit with Stella Emanuel talking about ivermectin. This is July 27, 2020, right during the heart of the scamdemic. I wrote this article talking about what was going on, and it wasn't even that big of an article, maybe about 800, 700 words. Yeah, it's light work for me, okay? And it went viral. Facebook, that's when, I don't know if I can do it anymore. Facebook totally... I've been blacklisted from Facebook since then for 4 years now. Oh, going on 4 years. Since then, I've been blacklisted. I can't monetize, can't do anything on there. Instant articles, can't do anything on there. It's crazy. Yeah, because of that one article. They want to silence the truth. But my host looked out for me. They didn't silence me. They always had my back. So yeah, shout out to them. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Speaking about firefighters, now I need you guys to actually stop doing stuff like this. Listen, I don't care, drunk, sober, whatever. If you go to an elevator and you can read, right, you guys are pretty smart. Even if you have some kind of visual issue, if you're visually impaired, they have the sign in Braille as well, if I'm not mistaken. There's a weight capacity, okay? So if you see an elevator chock full of people, don't get on it, because at a certain point, the weight limit means something. It's not just there for decoration. When I go to an elevator, if it's kind of already packed, even if I can kind of fit in there, I'm not going to chance it. First of all, I'm not trying to touch somebody by accident and get a Me Too. We're not going to have that. You know, if I go to an elevator, I'm like this, like I'm in a casket, like I'm like hands over my shoulders, doing the field goal. It's good. I'm doing it like this, okay? Covering my ears or something, so my hands are not going to be touching nobody. But if I gotta do all that, don't even worry about it. I'll catch the next one, or I take the stairs. If I'm too high up, I'm on the 800th floor, I'll just wait. What you don't want to do is get on the crowded elevator. It's going to be a problem. Now we had to get my man, the firefighter, to come in and get these morons out of the elevator because it was too many of them in there. Now here's a caption. We was drunk, stuck in the elevator for 30 minutes. I thought it was over. I didn't realize it was so many people till the elevator closed. All right. Now, watch who comes out. Watch how many of them come out. All right, music, let's not do that. So, all right, then they want to come out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And I probably missed a few. It's too many people in the elevator. And some of them are pretty big people. Okay? Look at what's going on right here. It's like, sis, come on. You probably were the straw on the camel's back. Doing way too much. A clown car type situation. And why's it got to be us? Why? Look, I'll tell you what. I don't identify with this community of people that are going to get on the elevator and jam it up. And a lot of us who are black don't identify with that kind of culture. I'm good. I'm not going to get on the elevator with you 15 deep, 20 deep, 800 deep. I'm not going to be drunk in public. And imagine the smelling it for 30 minutes. Oh, my goodness. My. Yeah. If it's a clown car type situation, all right. But an elevator, no. Getting stuck in the elevator is no bueno. No bueno. Yeah, Lizzo in the back. Look, Lizzo in the front. Lizzo was the straw on the camel's back. She saw the elevator going down, like, oh, I'm going to get in. And scooted her hind parts right in there. No, that's probably what did it. That's probably what made the elevator get stuck to begin with. All right, let's keep on going here. Oh, you know who I also don't identify with? I don't identify with those who do stuff like this on the road. Okay, so we have some cyclists here. We have some cyclists, and they have these little, what are these? Are these pool sticks they have attached to the back of their bicycles to keep distance? All right, let's turn the music down. Now, look, this is crazy. You have a bike lane. Why you got to have these pool sticks to extend the bike lane? Just stay in your lane, as the great LeVar Ball would say. Stay in your lane rather than trying to extend it with these little sticks. And you know what they do out here where I live? You got these Tour de France looking individuals and these little skinny bikes wearing the whole thing, looking like Lance Armstrong on a 2-lane highway on one of the 2 lanes. It's like, ma'am, this is a 2-lane highway. There's only 2 lanes. It's a narrow lane. Like, the lanes are narrow. It's only 2, one on one side, one on the other side. And you got ditches. They got rocks and creeks and everything. You can't ride your bike right here. Do that somewhere else. Why you got to be Lance Armstrong on this little country road? I don't understand. There's other roads to do this on, not right here. Like, get out the way, man. I'm trying to go to Publix. Here you are talking about some. It's like, no, we don't got no time for that. And then they got the audacity to do it at night. It's like, man, you're way tripping. Okay? This F-150 about to be like all on top of your forehead. They have like the little strobe lights in the back of their bike, so I can kind of see them a little bit better. If not for that, man, look, the F-150 would be right on top of their forehead. The bike going to get crunched like a soda can. Just, it's a mess. So moral of the story, don't do stuff like this. Okay, don't do that. I mean, you understand that I got my car. It's hard enough to drive with all these nut jobs out here, getting high on drugs, acting the fool, drunk behind the wheel. Here you are with a pool stick, making your lane bigger for no reason. Just stop. Just stop. Just don't do that. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, now, what restaurant is this? Is this Whataburger? I'm not sure. Now, I don't know what this is. Whataburger, In-N-Out, one of these left coast places. I'll tell you what. Is this how it is? You got these individuals just roaming around like ain't nothing going on?
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no, bro. This is bad. Oh, no. We need to get the fuck out of here, Mag. Fuck.
I live in Dubai. I've never seen as many crazy people in the United States.
Welcome to San Francisco. Unbelievable.
What's going on?
I don't know.
You will never find us in the UAE.
In Dubai?
Never.
I'm scared.
So if you didn't hear him, he's like, I've never seen this many crazy individuals in the United States. And if you go to the UAE, you don't see stuff like that. Of course not. You're not going to find people just barking, acting the fool in the Whataburger or whatever over there. You're not going to find that. It's just not a thing that happens. So what is that? Is it In-N-Out? I don't know. Like, I don't know anything about these restaurants. Yeah, I have no idea. But somebody said, yeah, I don't know. But that's what's happening over there. I'm not trying to have nobody barking at me when I'm trying to get some fast food, which I don't get, but I don't want to have nobody barking at me, man. We're not going to do that. And that's San Francisco. And you know what the problem is the drugs. It's simple. It's very simple. It's the drugs. When you just allow drugs to happen like that, you're going to get that kind of environment. People say, oh, just legalize drugs. Okay. Legalize drugs and just let stuff go on. You can smoke crack in the middle of the daytime. Well, you're going to have the crack heads. If you allow people to smoke crack whenever they want outside, just letting stuff happen, you're going to have the crack heads too. And you got to deal with them. So if you're living in a place where you support that kind of law to be the law of the land, well, enjoy your crackheads as well. I'm not really a fan of crackheads. I want them to stay over there. But if you're living in a place where that kind of behavior is tolerated, you're going to get them. You will get them. We're going back to like the late 80s because that kind of thing was popular back then when crack was all over the place. When crack hit the inner city, it was like that. Crackheads everywhere. Oh, man, it was crazy. I remember those times. I was a little kid, but I remember those times very well. It was a mess, man. You're talking about Zombieland and very dangerous. See, you're talking about crime right now. I was on, shout out to my man, Andre Hatchett. I was on this show on a podcast in Atlanta, and we're talking about how are black folks doing right now. And I said, well, we're doing okay. We're doing better than the 1980s, but not as good as the 1950s. Because in the 80s, early 90s, the crime that's happening right now in a place like Chicago, it pales in comparison today to what it was back then. You're talking about 1,000 murders a year in New York by itself, in Chicago by itself. It was nuts, man. It was really, really crazy. Early 90s, inner city, like Little Rock. Oh, man. It was like when the gang culture kind of spread, it got really out of control back then. I said a story before about my cousins in Little Rock. I have cousins live out there. One day, it was the 4th of July. I'll never forget it. At the time, I'm in West Virginia with my family. We're lighting off fireworks. And I had a cousin from Little Rock who came in to visit my grandma and them. And he was saying, just randomly, how dangerous it was in Little Rock. He said they would have TV sets on the ground. They didn't have any TV stands. They put a TV on the ground because there were so many drive-bys. They would just lay on the ground and watch TV. They would never sit up beyond where the window is because bullets were coming through the windows a lot in that particular area. That's how bad it was during the 90s. That kind of thing is not happening as much anymore. But back then, that's what was going on. But as we go back to all the drugs everywhere, as we go back to the lawlessness of the streets, you'll see that kind of violence come back with it because all of that kind of coincided together. The crack and the violence and the gang culture, the gang violence, it was all one thing. That's just what it was. All right. Yeah, Clay Bisbee, Banging in Little Rock. My cousin lived through that, for real. It's a documentary called Banging in Little Rock. My cousin was living right in that during that time. Absolutely. It was crazy. Little Rock, Arkansas, where your main man, Slick Willie, is from. Okay? But anyway, I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Before we keep on rocking, let's get to this particular thing. The Monroe County DA, Sandra Dooley, in a traffic stop. Did you guys see that? This was totally nuts. But do you know who I am moment. Let's check this out.
Body cam footage released today of an encounter between the Monroe County District Attorney and Webster Police in her garage after officers say she did not stop when they tried to pull her over for speeding.
You know what? That's fine. You know what I've been dealing with all day? 3 murders in the city. And do you think I really care if I was going 20 miles over the speed limit?
Good evening. I'm Stephanie Joseph. Matt and Karen are off. We first learned of this incident yesterday when Sandra Dorley released a statement saying she pleaded guilty to speeding and sent her ticket to the town court. But today, body-worn camera footage shows the sequence of events before she accepted responsibility for her actions. 13 WAM's Daniel Finkelstein brings us a recap of that newly released body cam footage from Webster Police. Daniel?
Yeah, Stephanie, the video begins as a Webster police officer is getting out of his cruiser to walk up the driveway of a home. There, Sandra Dorley can be seen getting out of her SUV in her garage to speak with the officer. Just before 5:45 p.m. on Monday, a police officer tries to pull over a black SUV for speeding on Phillips Road in Webster. The SUV continues on for roughly half a mile into a neighborhood and pulls into a driveway, then into the garage. The driver, Monroe County District Attorney Sandra Dorley, confronts the officer.
I'm the DA. I was going 55 coming home from work.
55 and a 35. Body-worn camera footage obtained by 13 WAM News shows a tense interaction between the two.
It was crazy because before we get to this part, which is crazy, so he's trying to pull her over, she's refusing, and she took him all the way back to her house, opened the garage and got in, playing with the dog and trying to go inside the house. And here she has the chief of police on the phone. And she's like, here, talk to him. The chief of police on the phone. Now, this is just way too much. Look, it was a speeding ticket. Just get your ticket and go about your day. It's not that deep. You had to go all the way back to your house and evade and call the chief of police for a ticket? Really?
District Attorney proceeds to call the Webster Chief of Police and then hands the phone to the officer.
Hello, sir. Good. Ma'am, can you please stay at the back? This is a legal traffic stop. Can you please stay over here?
No. Hey, baby, get your little guy out of here.
Sir, I stopped her for going 55 and a 35 on Phillips Road.
The officer explains to the chief that Dorley failed to stop on Phillips Road and says she...
But look, the chief shouldn't be involved in this at all. It's a traffic stop. The chief shouldn't be asking no questions, talking about what did she do and all this and that, because we don't get that same kind of treatment. I can't just call the chief of police talking about, hey, I'm in trouble, talk to the officer. That's not how that works, man. You're not above the law because you're a DA.
She's not cooperating.
Ma'am, do not go inside.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
She's trying to go inside the house with the dog and everything, like he's not outside, trying to pull her over.
All right. Ma'am, come outside. You can't just go inside. This is a traffic stop. Here's your phone back.
I understand the law better than you.
The officer calls for a supervisor and continues to speak with Dorley.
And you even admitted to me that you went 50. I understand.
And boom, there go the badge right there. That's crazy. Totally crazy.
I understand that, ma'am. I understand that.
You know what?
Dorley says she called the Webster police chief before stopping to inform him that she was not a threat. The discussion lasts several minutes. More officers arrive as they wait for a supervisor.
I was on the phone with Dennis Kohlmeyer saying, would you please tell the person who's following me that I'm almost home?
Ma'am, I understand you were going home, but I started my lights back at Phillips Road.
On Phillips Road, yes, you did, and there are other cars.
I was right behind you, directly behind you.
Lying, because first she called the chief because she had to tell him that she was not a threat. So you knew you were getting pulled over. So don't act like you didn't know you were getting pulled over. He's right behind you, got the lights on, you pull over. Anybody else cannot say this. You or I be getting locked up. ASAP, be getting locked up. Get on the ground, guns drawn, and you going to jail. You can't just do whatever you want because you're the DA. That's not how that works.
At the end,
go ahead. Like
listen,
you want to?
at the end of the day,
go ahead.
The officer and a supervisor try to reason with Dorley.
And you should know better. That's not a traffic ticket. That's an arrestable offense.
Outside, another officer talks to his colleague. Minutes later, the original officer can be seen printing the ticket.
All right, ma'am. So I'm issuing you speed in zone 55 and a 35.
That's fine. I'll take care of it since I'll be prosecuting myself.
Okay.
As the officer leaves Dorley's garage, he gives her a warning.
At the end of the day, if you see my lights and sirens behind you, and obviously they're going off, just pull over, we can have a conversation, and be on our way.
Again, Dorley released a statement late yesterday afternoon before this video was released, saying in part, "I believe in accepting my responsibility for my actions and had no intention of using my position to receive a benefit. Nobody, including your district attorney, is above the rule of law, even traffic laws."
That was totally crazy. Now, here's the apology. We're going to play that and we're going to get to some calls. So shout out to you guys for watching. Now, here we go. Look at the face from the beginning. All somber, all different. All right. And the apology was so bad. You got to hear this if you haven't yet.
Last Monday, I failed you and the standards that I hold myself to. And for that, I am so sorry. What I did was wrong, no excuses. I take full responsibility for my actions. I fell short of the values I've held for my entire 33-year career. I didn't treat this officer with the respect that he deserved. All police officers deserve respect. I am truly and sincerely sorry. I had just come from work. I was dealing with 3 homicides that occurred over the weekend. I watched a video where an innocent cab driver was executed. And I was still reeling from a frightening medical concern that my husband received that afternoon.
Man, look, anybody trying to hear all that at the end of the day, we're not trying to hear that because we all have stress in our life. We all have things going on. And you as a prosecutor know that because you've had guys come before you in the courtroom talking about, yeah, I was stressed out, baby mama tripping, all this and that and the third. That's why I did what I did. You're not going to care. Okay, 15 years in the penitentiary, you're making big rocks, little rocks, boom, 25, 35. You're not trying to hear no sob story from them. So I'm not trying to hear it from you.
But we all had bad days and stress, and it was wrong for me to take it out on an officer who was simply doing his job. While I previously apologized to him, I will say it again. I'm sorry. Police already have a tough job, and that day I made this officer's job harder. To the community, I owe you full transparency. Here's what I'm doing to hold myself accountable. First, I already pled guilty to the speeding ticket, and I will willingly pay the fine. Next, I'm referring the entire matter to a district attorney from another county for review and will fully cooperate with that investigation. I'm going to self-report this incident to the grievance committee, and I will cooperate with their investigation. Finally, if one of my assistant district attorneys had acted this way, I would have disciplined them. So I'm disciplining myself. I will take ethics training to remind myself that professionalism matters. I've been humbled by my own stupidity, and I am fully to blame. I will make this right. I ask for your forgiveness. Responsibility.
So what do you guys think? Do you think that she's that was a genuine, a legitimate apology? Are you feeling the apology? Are you going to say, oh, nah, your punishment for yourself is totally fine. Ethics training and whatnot, totally great. Now, me personally, I say just go ahead and fire her because she could have got locked up. So just fire her. 33 years, okay, that's fine, but you did that. People can have a stellar life, everything, they do everything right, and make one mistake and it costs them their life. You're not going to have any kind of sympathy for that as a prosecutor because your job is not to have sympathy. Your job is to, to prosecute, not to be sympathetic necessarily. So I'm not going to have that same grace for you or anybody else in this situation because you know better. You are a person that, you're a part of law enforcement. So yeah, she got to go, man. Like that was totally crazy. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. The number to call before we get to the calls, the number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Let's go ahead and get to some supers here if I got some, and then we get to the calls. Thank you to JB's Garage, who says the most ridiculous group of revolutionaries ever. Speaking about those that were at Columbia and whatnot. Shout out to Lothair, who says January 6th is not an insurrection. It was just a riot. It was even funnier that we spend so much money on military spending, but yet they cannot stop a bunch of drunk rednecks on Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. Thank you to Earth Citizen versus Universe for becoming a member. Thank you to Lothair again, who says Jerry Seinfeld is 100% right. I don't know why people take comedy too serious these days. They're complaining about fictional stories. That is pretty sad. Haha, babies. Thank you to F-Range Xbox, who says Sledgehammer offensively funny for the win. Lothair says Moby, shut up, Moby. You got punked out by Eminem. ABL showed the video of Eminem threatening Moby is funny. And at Fringe Xbox says population has been on prescriptions for decades. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Let's get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. The number is always in the description. Also, it'll pop up in the ticker right there. Perfect timing, 434-658-1220. And there's also an email for Skype. If it doesn't work right, don't blame me, blame the white man, because it ain't my fault. Let's go ahead and get into it. Yeah, I mean, she had to report the story because it was on body cam and it went viral. So she had to say something. She had to do something. She's just trying to punish herself. She said it in the video. I'm the prosecutor. I prosecute myself. And she's doing the exact same thing in the apology. I'm not trying to hear that. Anyway, let's keep on going. 859, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, what's up? He's your Luciferian Libertarian friend, Lavere. How's it going, bud?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
I hear me.
All right, it should be good, though. Keep on going.
Sweet. You know that DEA?
You said DEA?
Yeah, the girl who was trying to get a traffic stop and went straight home and kind of like acted erratic.
Yeah.
She wasn't blinking the whole time. It kind of creeped me out.
Hey, she might have been on some medication and make her kind of, do something a little bit different.
I don't know if it's true, but I heard somewhere that sociopaths tend to not blink.
Well, maybe you got a point there.
And also tend to play as a victim as well. So I was listening to podcasting about psychology, and I kind of picked up on that. It's like, wow, that's creepy.
Right on.
That kind of gave me the chills when I heard that interview. It was like, whoa, she probably murdered somebody. But hey, man, I enjoyed the show, man. Thank you for the call, bro.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Hey, no problem. Oh, also, you gotta show that clip of Eminem, like on the I think it was the Trophy Awards, kind of punking out like Moby. Like, I swear, Moby, he's ridiculous. I'll talk to you later, bro.
Thanks for the call,
love, bro.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, let's keep rocking and rolling here. Great call. We'll go to 201. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 201. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Oh, well, about yourself?
Yeah, I'm calling from New York, actually.
You calling from where?
New York.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just wanted to speak to you. You're doing a good job, and I've spoken to you maybe last year. And what happened when I spoken to you that day? I think Samuel Jackson was on The View, and he was promoting all this anti-gun, all this propaganda machine. And what happened that day that he was doing this Broadway show in Midtown Manhattan in like a Broadway area. And I saw him, there were two cars behind him and two cars front of him to escort him wherever he's going. And I was behind him because I got stuck in traffic, and he was front of me, and he was escorted into the car and limousines and those expensive SUVs. And these people go on television and they tell you not to own guns, and they try to take away our Second Amendment given Constitution given rights, But so I just wanted to say that don't give up your Second Amendment rights, and don't listen to these people, basically.
Right on, absolutely.
Yeah, never listen to these people. They are just bogus, and they just hired to do and speak on the television and not care about us. They don't care about us. I can honestly tell you that. Thank you, brother. Okay, God bless you.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, great call. Shout out to the caller. 310, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
ABL.
Yes.
Hey, what up, brother? Making it live or what?
You're live.
Hey, what's up, man? Mad props, mad respect. And just want to say, right now there's a war on the middle class.
So be good to each other, be good to your neighbors, and just stay positive.
Right
All
on,
right,
man.
brother?
Absolutely.
All right, man. Much respect. Thank you.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you. All right, shout out to the caller. 860, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's your old friend, F&A Ranger Xbox. How you doing, Anthony?
It's all good. About yourself?
Oh, pretty good. I just want to keep this short and sweet. Did you see where the Hillary Clinton campaign had to pay for their part in creating the Steele dossier that wasted over $100 million on a fake impeachment?
I did not see that.
Oh, well, I'll be looking for a TV show once there. I'll tell you what, God bless America. And that was that white fella, the liberal you had there, the brain dead idiot. That was a victor's for any. I can tell.
You kind of broke up a little bit there. What did you say?
I said that white liberal you had on.
Which one?
Talking about all the minorities. He's one of their friends, ain't he?
Yeah, I'll presume so.
All right, Dave, I'm going to let you go tonight and have a great night. Show. Keep rocking, buddy. You're getting strong. Get on Lincoln, people. Free speech.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. All right. Y'all know, that might have been, I don't know what happened with the, a lot of static going on. I think he was talking about Moby, the guy that was talking about the IDs, I suppose. But yeah, shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. 864, you know how much we could do.
What's up, ABL? This is Chris Bradbury. I talked to you about maybe 3-4 weeks ago on your live. I'm happy to get back on here. First of all, I just want to shout out YouTube for you doing God's work. Be honest with you, I'm listening to you right now. I didn't think I was going to get through, but I really want your opinion on what do you think is fixing to happen with the whole college thing going on in New York City, the College of New York City in Columbia? Do you think Biden's about to get voters to break away from him or not?
What do you mean?
Like, so with the whole Israel and Hamas thing, do you think he's fixing to lose the base of the 18 and 26-year-old demographic that is pretty much Gen Z?
That's a good question. I don't really think so, but it could happen. But I don't really see that making a difference, in my opinion.
Okay. One more thing. I recently just got connected with Scott Presler on X. He gave me his phone number. We chatted. I've been getting voters registered everywhere I can. I live in South Carolina. Shout out 864. You inspire me to start my YouTube channel. Do you mind if I shout it out on your show?
Go ahead.
You can find me at Chris Bradbury on YouTube. I'd appreciate anyone who subscribes. I just hit 413 subscribers. I've been doing this about 2 years because of you, mainly because of you. Again, my dad put me onto you when you was at about 400,000 subs. I'm happy to see you broke past 1 million. Much love, much respect. Also, if anyone out there is listening and smokes weed, please stop. I recently just went through a battle with it. I just got clean from it. I'm passing drug tests left and right. I'm about to get my job back. I just got my CDL license. And I've been getting truckers registered to vote like crazy. I've probably done come across 100 people who's registered to vote now because of me. My niece was over here tonight. She's 21. Her boyfriend, his name is Al. He's 23. And them two promised me that they're going to vote in the election coming up in 2024. So if anyone's listening, I just want to make sure you're all registered to vote. If you're not registered to vote, get registered to vote. And let's make sure Trump wins this and brings it home.
Right on, man. Absolutely.
And I just want to shout you out again for your hats. They've been starting conversations all over the place. I wore your hat throughout when I worked at Amazon. I survived the pandemic. Unfortunately, it led to me getting fired, but it is what it is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I walked away with pride. It didn't matter to me. They actually have I forget the name of it, but they have these things where like each race has a flag hanging up in the warehouse, and the only ones excluded from it is white people. I mean, they have queers, anyone who's a gender affirming person, blacks, Latinos, Asians, chinks. I mean, anything you can think of, they have it hanging up in the warehouse. There's nothing for Caucasian people. I'm a Caucasian person, but I just wanted to thank you for your efforts, man. That's all.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Keep rocking and keep rolling, brother.
Will do. Appreciate it.
Peace.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Now, I know you can't really say that last one, that the C, but I don't think he did it with malicious intent. So shout out to my man for the call. All right. But I got to acknowledge that I heard it. All right. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Calling on speaker to 470.
You have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Hey, ABL. Hey, it's Greg from Wild and Wacky Atlanta. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Pretty good. I was listening to the news tonight about the protesters over at Emory University, not all too far away from where I am. And, they had about 50 of the pro-Palestinian assholes and one pro-Israel guy. And I got to turn down the volume here. Hang on a second. Anyway, so the protesters for Palestine were calling the pro-Israel guy a terrorist, and the pro-Israel guy called the Palestinian protesters a terrorist. And guess who got kicked off the campus first?
It was
the pro-Israel.
Yeah.
Pro-Israeli guy. Yeah, because he's disrupting the peace, you see. So they had to throw him off. No liberal bias there. So anyway, so I hope the police crack some skulls open. It's got pretty violent Monday night, I heard.
Yeah, it's been pretty
Down
violent
here in
all over the
Atlanta,
country.
so.
Yeah.
Have you followed it?
Not necessarily in Atlanta. I've just been kind of seeing a lot of the national news from different ones.
Yeah, it sounds like there's millions of students all around the country protesting for Palestine, and it's just pathetic. Where was this? Where the Americans, the students were protecting the flag? They formed a ring around the flagpole.
That was UNC, Chapel Hill.
Yeah, man, that was great. I saw the video. A couple days ago, I just couldn't remember where it was from. Anyway, so I just want to let you know, I was going to keep this short and sweet. Tomorrow, I'm quitting my dead-end job, and I can't wait. But they don't know it yet. As I mentioned last week, I'm going on vacation, and I'm going to quit 2 weeks into it and give them a week's notice, and then call the authorities on them and turn in my shirts to Goodwill. So
sounds good to me.
Can't wait. I'm looking forward to that. And just wish me well, and I wish you well. And thanks very much for what you do. I appreciate your hard work. Keep it up.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it, and good luck.
Thank you. I'm still Ultra MAGA Trump 2024. Have a good night.
All righty.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Let's go to 215. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. How's it going?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
All right. Yeah. So basically, I wanted to comment off of that one caller, what he said. He basically was saying that with the Israel-Hamas war, will Joe Biden lose some support? In my opinion, I'm going to be honest with you, I think he's already have lost some support because I feel like there's a lot of people that basically they're just going to sit out the election. They're not going to vote for either candidate or they're going to try to vote third party.
I mean, that's I can see that point of view.
Yeah, because I've already heard from a few leftists that said that they're just going to sit it out because America don't want to force Israel to stop the ceasefire. And I always tell a few people, it's like, listen, they've been fighting. They're going to continue to keep fighting. The Middle Eastern conflicts, we need to just stay out of the wars. Like at first, I was kind of like, I understand American getting involved because they had American hostages over there, but now all the American hostages are given back. So really, there's no reason for us to even be involved in these wars anymore, in the Middle Eastern war. Definitely no reason for us to be involved in Ukraine.
Right, absolutely.
And another thing, like on the feeds, when I keep seeing all these pro-Palestinian, I just get tired. I get sick of it. All these college kids just constantly up here fighting with police because they're mad about what's going on over in Gaza, and they don't want to take the time and energy and resources and money to go over to the Middle Eastern countries and decide to help with the cause if they feel so passionate about it. They just want to sit here, block traffic, and disrupt everybody else's cause and tell everybody else we need to worry about what's going on overseas. But you know, it's kind of ironic. They're so worried about it, but they won't go over there.
Right, of course.
And it's like these people, they're just so like, I get tired of seeing the feeds because it's like, they're like, I feel like they're one of those like kids. They were like pampered all their lives. They never really actually had to work for anything, never had to struggle. Like I work 9 to 5 jobs. I don't have no family support. It's just me out here. I'm in my late 20s. You know, I've been homeless twice. I'm not homeless now. You know, I've been through a lot of struggle, and I get triggered when I hear these people complaining and just worrying about what's crying and complaining what's going on overseas. I was like, I get to the point where every time I see the video feeds pop up, I'll just be like, not interested. I don't need to worry about what another country's got going on. I mean, it's nice to be aware of what's going on in the world, but it's like, I'm not going to let it consume my life because we got other things to worry about over here in America.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what it is. It's just those people, they're just like those spoiled brat kids that just never really been through any struggles in life of their own. Well, actually, I think they're always going through a struggle, mental health struggle.
Yeah, that's definitely one right there.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big struggle that they're. So yeah, back to what one person said. Everybody goes through struggles, no matter how much money you have. Everybody goes through struggles, and them people, you know, mental health.
Absolutely.
Definitely. All right. Well, thanks for taking my call, ABL.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
You have a good one.
Same to you. Yeah, that was a good point. Mental health struggles are definitely real. That's what they're going through, and they ain't going through nothing else. Who am I speaking to? You on the line 570?
This is Fifth Cup of Coffee.
All righty. What's going on?
Not much. I've never done this before. I don't know what to do. I hope I did it right.
You did.
You said 5760.
You're doing very well so far.
Okay, am I going to be able to hear you, or because I got you on my computer?
Okay, so don't have the stream on in the background. Turn that off. Just talk to me on the phone.
You got it. Thank you.
No problem. So what's happening?
Excuse me?
I said, what's happening? Are you going to...
Oh, I wanted just to talk to you for a minute about Colorado and a couple of thoughts about it.
Okay, let me know.
All right. You want me to tell you now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm from Tennessee, and I'm really upset that there's a lot of people that automatically assume if you're in Colorado that you voted for Biden, that you are a Democrat, that you are woke, and it is not true. The only reason that this state is blue in the first place is because of two cities, Denver and Boulder, because they are huge, big urban cities. And if you look at a map, a legit map, you will see most of Colorado is actually red, but a lot of rural, farm country, smaller towns and cities. We can't compete, but we actually did go from dark blue to light blue with the Super Tuesday that we had. So that was a step in the right direction. Being from Tennessee, I'm red. I've been red since I've been able to vote, and since before I was able to vote. From what my mama told me, and but Colorado just has it bad. And I wanted to let you know. I know what your stance is, but I also know that you have some. But the latest gun law in Colorado laws, have you heard about them yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, 30 new ones just passed this week. And now we're just waiting on the Senate on an assault ban one, too. And Governor Polis, he doesn't really want to have to pass a ban on it, which is surprising because he's woke, he's gay, and I'm just saying the truth. I'm not saying it in a mean, disrespectful way. He is. He's proud of it. You can read about it anywhere. And he's Democrat. But he understands part of Colorado that needs it, and he's not wanting to have it. And right now, everything else, three laws passed, but we're just waiting on the one on the assault ban, taking that out. and it's in the Senate now, and then it will be going to his desk. And for some reason, they're saying it's going to be a really tight fight in the Senate. But I don't know too much about that. And if you don't mind, I just wanted to say one more thing. Denver had just cut their police budget by $8.4 million today because of the immigrant crisis, which they brought on themselves. And we need our police. I'm a Second Amendment person for sure, but I respect my boys in blue. We totally need them. And not everybody, I'm just here temporarily with my husband. He's a ex-Navy vet. He's a CDL driver now. And he came here for a job, and we did not know about all this. And I think if we did, we would not have come. And we have to wait till his contract is over before we can leave. And I pray every day, but we've got about another year and a half left. But I need to get back to my South. I'm new to YouTube. I don't use social media. This is totally new to me. But he watches YouTube a lot, and he watched you, and he watched somebody else, and I started watching with him. So I had to figure out how to do this on my computer. So that's how I found you. And I just wanted to let you know, you're awesome. You keep us updated. You say how it is, what's on your mind. You don't candy coat anything. You don't care if someone likes it or doesn't like it. You just say the truth, and it doesn't matter to you what other people think. And that's about all I have to say. I mean, I can talk. I'm a Southerner. I'm a mixed girl in the room. Everybody in there that knows me so far, they know I'm mixed. But obviously, I was brought up on the white half of my family. But I love people, I do, but I don't get treated fairly, and it's just kind of weird because it's the people that I would think would be nicer to me because I have a little bit of a tan, that are the ones that are not so nice to me. And it's actually been kind of the white Southern boys and girls, that took me in and made me love country since I was little, and they take care of me. But if somebody is another color and they're nice to me, I don't see color. But when they're not nice to me or they say rude things like little Miss Fannie Willis, I have a very hard time. I'm very uncomfortable. But anyway, I just had to call and just stick up for Colorado isn't all woke, blue, Democratic. It's not our fault. We voted for Biden, and we actually did make a difference. We took it from dark blue to light blue. So who knows what can happen? And I just wanted to share that with you and thank you for what you do for the community.
Well, thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
All right. I appreciate you too. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
All right. So shout out to her. Great call. Fantastic call. Loving the accent. Y'all know I'm born in West Virginia, so I'm a connoisseur of accents. If you guys hear my family talk, like we're kind of like that. Yeah. So shout out to the accents. I've been told I have an accent. I can't tell. I don't know. I have just a regular voice. Anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to 310. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
What's up, ABL? I'm glad you got me on the line. It's Doobie from California. Just wanted to say I showed you off to my grandma today, and she loved it. She was loving your episode today, and I'll let you get back to your episode, but she was loving it, ABL. So keep it up, and you get on with your show.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All right, shout out to Grandma. I'm glad you watching. Glad you're enjoying the show. All righty, let's keep on going. I have an ATL accent. Is that what it is? Maybe I've just been down here too long. Maybe that's what's going on. All right, let's keep on going. Let's go to all right, let's try 504. You're online. Who am I speaking to?
All right. Hey, ABL, it's Alien Spaceship.
All right, what's going on?
All right. So very good so far. So a very good show. And also with last time, I had a friend call me, and that's why I didn't call in last time, but I was still in the chat. A very good show like this one. And also something interesting is that, so yesterday I was observing a stream with Way of the Road last night, and at UCLA there's this battle between Antifa and the people, like the students there. Like one group was like pro-Israel, the other group was Antifa that was supporting Hamas, but it's also Antifa just using the Palestinian movement as like the disguise also. And they had this giant battle going on back and forth, and because they defunded the police and stuff there wasn't enough people to bring in, so they had to call the SWAT team in different groups, and eventually they did come in and were trying to clear the place out, but it was a really wild situation last night.
Yeah, I've seen quite a bit of that. It's really out of control.
Yeah, and also, it's good to get rid of the Antifa people from different areas, like they did with the black George Floyd situation with the black movement and stuff. Yeah, they just hijack things. Like they did that in Germany too. So I remember you're showing the DA, that lady in the DA. Yeah, she was really stupid and cocky for doing that. And it's like, who does she think she is? It's like they would definitely find her guilty and take her out, especially with the evidence on the camera. And a jury certainly wouldn't like her. I mean, she really screwed her life up with what she did.
Yeah, she really did.
Yeah, and it's like, like Jesus said in the Bible, that the pride will end in shame. And that, everybody, that's a perfect example of what he was talking about with that, because especially, she should comply with the police. She shouldn't feel like she's above everybody. And, it's really all the way around. It's, something not to do.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. And I like that picture of your father. He looks a lot like you. And it's good for the firefighters, do a lot of good, obviously. And I know that they go through a lot of stress, and they have the heart issues like you were talking about, because, all of the things that they see, and they can get up like right in the middle of the night or something. Yeah, it's a really, really tedious job.
Absolutely. Very much so. And a lot of them go underappreciated. So shout out to all the firefighters.
Yeah, shout out to all the firefighters. And also, I do agree about comedy being dead, because I watch MeTV. I watch these old like movie stations, and where they show these old shows and stuff, like what he was talking about. And basically, I think now people are pandering and people are too sensitive. A chat friends and I are talking about that, and people are getting too emotional about things, and that's why they like the stand-up comedian people. I agree with that. And what I think in planning is, hopefully, as the years go on throughout this decade and the next decade, that there's a renaissance that occurs, and people can look back on this really dark era, because in Europe there's the Dark Ages and the Renaissance. So, hopefully they look back on this and they just go back to how it was before, and things, get better.
Absolutely.
And also, I think economically speaking as well, because, no one wants to pay for high groceries and stuff. And I do think it's a lesson for people to be educated about, what to vote for, what not to vote for, and to be aware of different policies and things at the same time.
Yeah, it's definitely something people need to be aware of. The education is an important piece to everything.
Right. And also, I think that with, Joe Brandon, with what he's doing, he completely screwed up the country along with the other people. And I think, he was too senile to do the presidency, and I could see like how they have like Kamala doing all the campaigning stuff. That would make sense. And I wonder also if they thought he was easier to control and things like that by putting him in there. But do you have any thoughts on that?
It's definitely easy to control. Anybody that is their guy, they are easy to control. Trump was probably one of the only ones they couldn't. That's why they were working so hard to get him out of the way.
Exactly. Like you can see with the Iran situation, it's like they funded both sides, and these other situations that happen in the country. Yeah, they wanted somebody they can control, and Trump, you can't control him. And that obviously shows that they didn't want a real leader of the country. They wanted, some other kind of leader they can control easier.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And one more thing. I was researching China, how they were with the different opium wars that we had with them and stuff, and that they were taking the opportunity now with the fentanyl trade that's going on, and like the cartels will go over there and then they will transport it over here. And like the person in the video was saying, it may not be revenge for what happened. It's an opinion though. if perhaps like they saw an opportunity because America has a lot of ease on some of the drug policies and things, and like people like Joe Brandon, those kind of people that were more easier, in my opinion, on what they were doing with that. And now it's getting worse and worse and worse when Trump, stood up to the different countries and people and said, you can't do that here.
Yeah, but to me, it's kind of like a revenge thing. That's what it looks like, And if it's not revenge, right, they're taking an opportunity to get some of that back, And maybe they're doing what they're doing, and they may have the opium wars as kind of a justification. Well, you did this to us, now it's your turn for us to do it to you. That could be part of it.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I've been thinking the whole time about studying it, is that they wanted revenge for what they call the years of humiliation, because a lot of their people, millions and millions of people are addicted to the opium. I do agree with that. And it's also good. I like to see what, different people say. And, certainly I don't think they want more of an eye for an eye, and what they want to do with us. And, that's my opinion on that. And I do think that it would be good whenever Trump gets back in and, defends the country and stops that from happening. And that's all to say for his call, ABL. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
Let's keep on going here. Shout out to my for the call. Great call. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. 423, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony.
Hello.
I would just like to say, I wanted to talk to everybody who was listening. In light of all of the events that are going on, if everybody could just get on to, all I did was a Google search. It was I Google searched for paid protesting jobs, and it showed up on Indeed. I had some other things just kind of showed up, but literally, I mean, you can be paid to protest, and I think that in light of most of the events that are going on, I think that most of these people, because of their morals, it's like they're morally unbased. There's a lot going on. I think that's just not being spoke about, but I think that it would enlighten a lot of people just to kind of do a search and maybe just look up paid protesting jobs and see what's out there and see why people are maybe doing some of these things.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Okay, definitely. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
All right, bye.
All right, great call. That's definitely a great point. A lot of these paid protesting jobs are available. That's definitely a thing that's going on. And people might want to say, oh, it's a conspiracy. Is it a conspiracy? I don't think so. I think these jobs are real, and these people are getting paid. They are being organized. It's not just, I don't think anytime you see a protest on television, I don't think any of them are ever, purely organic at this point. 904 online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, this is Dickie. Great calls tonight. I wanted to kind of change the subject a little bit. I just found out yesterday that the White House, and in my opinion, they actually did something good. And this is rare because I'm not a Biden fan, and this could be something that came back from Trump and landed on Biden's lap. I don't know. But basically, the federal government is now switching their hiring process to a more skills-based approach, especially for IT people. So basically what it comes down to is they're not requiring these 2-year, 4-year degrees anymore to get a job in the federal government under the category of IT. And I like that a lot because personally I only have an associate's degree and I do work for the government as a programmer, but I think it's good to allow skill-based people who don't have a degree to be able to get these kinds of jobs and offer them training and stuff like that too. So I just wanted to know what's your opinion on that. I know you do have an IT, like tech-based background yourself, so I wanted to know what you thought.
Yeah, I think that if you have skill in a thing, you should be able to do the job without having a degree. I don't see why the degree would be a barrier. The only way it would be a barrier, I guess, would be is if you get a lot of people that apply for a certain job and you want to use it as a filtration system. But the main thing is, can you do the work?
Right, and they have 500,000 open cybersecurity positions nationwide in the government right now, and they can't find people to fill them. That's why they're extending this opportunity out to people that have the skills already and don't have a college degree. But anyways, I don't know if this is just a Biden administration idea or plan, but it's supposed to be fully in place by next summer. So if anyone out there don't already know about it, then there you go.
Well, there it is. Sounds good to me.
All right. Thanks, ABL.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate you.
All right.
Man, that's definitely a good idea. Absolutely. I mean, if you have the skill, if you could do a job, then you should be able to do it. You know, some things is a little bit different. You might need some college education, just like I see some of these things. Have you guys seen what's happening with veneer technicians, where these people that don't have any kind of degree in dentistry took a course and then they're starting to do veneers? Now, I'm not trying to have somebody putting teeth in my mouth that does not have the proper training to do so. But as far as we talking about IT, things of this nature, if you can actually do the task and you're good at it, that's what matters the most. Okay, that's the main thing. And that can be tested without having to, try to damage somebody's actual teeth. 252, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is the Haiku Bandit.
All righty, what's going on?
And I've followed you for a long time. I've never called in before. I had to call in because I have to tell you that your hat is spectacular. Not because of the Orwellian part, but 1984 was just an excellent year. It was.
Well,
unfortunately.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm about to say I was also born in that year, so it was definitely a great year.
See that? The great things happened. The Terminator come out. It was the best music. It was the best movies. Life was simple. You didn't have to have a cell phone attached to you all the time. And I don't know, you mentioned earlier about like the crime and so forth. And yeah, there's always been crime and there was peaks and valleys, but I don't know. It was just so much better in 84, my opinion. But I'm an expert, Gen Xer. So the thing that you drive home all the time that I appreciate, because I say it myself, is that if the laws don't apply to everybody, then why do we have them? The 5-tier justice system and everything else is absolutely insane. I could either have rules or not have rules, but whatever it is, it has to apply to everyone. And if we could just do that one thing, if that one thing could be done, a lot of this other stuff would work itself out.
I agree 100%. That is the best way to look at it.
Yeah. Okay. You're awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. Have a great night.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Great call. But yeah, shout out to 1984. Definitely a great year. It was a lot that happened in that year. And of course, that's when I was born. Yeah, 1984. Bring back the 80s. Bring back just, I don't know, man. It's like, bring back the good part, not the bad part of the 80s. Okay, and I see somebody is calling that already called earlier. If I talk to you earlier, you can't call twice. I'm sorry. In the night, at least. You got to call back the next time. But shout out to you guys for calling in. The calls have been really good tonight. I appreciate y'all for joining in. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. And we born in 1984 as well. Butthead, shout out to you, fellow 84. Duke Raul, your son was born in 84, November 84. Shout out to you. Okay. Yep. Yes, I'm going to be 40 this year. You already look old, ABL. Hey, it's all good. I'm going to look the exact same way when I get to be 80. Let's keep on rocking. 773, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, it's your retired Chicago police officer friend. Thanks for taking my call. ABL, I just wanted to talk about, voting without ID. I think that's the next place they're going. And I'm wondering what your opinions are or your ideas are about counteracting the left or the Democratic Party, or the left especially in the Democratic Party, from actually gathering up illegal aliens and bringing them to the friendlier, let's say, polling places to vote. I believe that some places you don't show your ID. Some are a little bit lax on that. And I'm wondering, and I think this is what's happening. I think now that all these things are running out with Trump, all these things to stop Trump from getting on the ballot and running, I think their next step is to try to put their thumb on the balance, so to speak, to make it Democratic heavy with illegal aliens. And, you know, a lot of these places, they do it here in Chicago, or they had many, many years. They'll come and they'll pick you up. They'll pick up old people. You know, they'll pick up people that have a right to vote, but maybe wouldn't vote or really aren't paying attention. They'll tell them how to vote. Oh, vote for right here. Put your, put your mark down for Biden or whatever. He's a Democrat. He's going to help you. I believe that they're going to round up a bunch of these people, and somehow they're going to be able to vote. And I want to know your opinion on that. And more importantly, how are we going to counteract something like that? Because I think that's their next step. And what do you think their next step is in light of these things that they're doing to Trump aren't seeming to take hold? They're not working. So what do you think, ABL?
As far as kind of ratcheting it, I'm not really sure. It's going to have to be a state-to-state thing. Like where I live, that kind of thing's not really going on. It's going to be up to us to vote in the right people to get that kind of thing ironed out on a state level. Like where I live, we don't really do that. Georgia did the same thing. They changed a lot of laws after the 2020 election. People say, you know what, we don't want to have any kind of funny business like what may have happened in Fulton, so they changed laws. That's what it's going to take. If that's not happening, if we're not voting the right people, then it's going to be the same old thing happening year after year.
And what other ways do you think they might try to cheat in light of the, Trump is probably going to be on the ballot. More than likely. I don't see anything coming up that will stop him from being on the ballot, although they might have something that, up their sleeve to disqualify him the last minute. But, what do you think we should watch out for? And then I'll hang up and listen for the answer. ABL, thanks.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate you.
I appreciate it.
Okay, now that goes back to the states because this, everything is about the state. Every election is state, city, local area. So to prevent any kind of cheating, you have to change laws on a local level. Just like what happened in Fulton County. They changed Georgia laws after that to prevent that kind of thing from going down. Just tighten up the laws in your local area. That's all you can really do. And you got to vote in the right way locally. So it just goes out locally first. Then whatever you do locally will go national. There's not one way that you vote on a national level. There's no federal election. You vote for federal officials, but there's no actual federal election. So you got to change things on local level. Tennessee, where I live, we don't have any kind of funny business. We have voter ID, paper ballots, because that's our laws. Georgia, same thing. They have no funny business, no chicanery going on because they have local laws that prevent that from happening. But California is not quite that way. In order to change California and what they do and their funny business, you got to be able to vote in people that are going to have things go that direction. But it's going to be a tall task considering you're in the belly of the beast and LA and San Fran pretty much run the show, unfortunately. All right. RNC are useless. They don't do anything at all. Your local people are what's most important. Giving money to Rhonda McDaniel or whoever is running the show now is completely useless. Everything's got to be local. That is your focus. All right. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for being here. That is a wrap for me. I'll be back live again on Saturday, same bad time, same bad place, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I have some super chats to read right here. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow clean on top. Shout out to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I really appreciate y'all for doing what you do. And shout out to you guys for watching, retweeting, super chatting. I could not do the show without you. All right. I got a few super chats I'll read. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow clean on top. Thank you to Vincent Williams, who says, ABL, keep up the good work. Peace from San Francisco, Belly of the Beast. Shout out to you living out there. And thank you to Man of the Face, who says, great show. Keep going, ABL. Will do. Most certainly. Shout out to you guys for watching. And if you're not subscribed to my other channel, Uncle ABL, y'all please do so. I just put a video over there today. I'm going to try my best to be more consistent on that channel, but I got a whole lot going on. I'm trying to get a team of people to help me out with certain things because I'll be doing everything by myself. So subscribe to the new channel, Uncle ABL. Also, this is a podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether it be Google Play, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. This episode right here will be available audio only on those platforms at 8 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. So today's Wednesday. It'll be available tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern. For the Saturday show, it'll be available Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern. Alrighty. But that will be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys for being here. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out and peace.